right, it's that time. It's time for the 2025 Game of the Year. And as per usual, we have a full house. We have Anthony here with us.
I wasn't expecting to go first. I was muted.
I always go by like the list of people.
Listen, man, you know what? I don't need to take this shit.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, let's keep going.
We have Jay joining us.
Buongiorno. It's been a while.
It has been a while. We got Drew.
Yep, I'm here.
We got Turds.
What's up?
We got the Wombat.
Yes, sir.
And we got a whole shitload of games to talk about.
It's true. Not really. Not really.
So if this is your first time listening to our Game of the Year show, basically what we do is everybody gets a list. You get 10 games, give or take. Some people have honorable mentions. Some people have disappointments. And then we argue about why that game was on somebody's list because it was such a giant piece of shit.
I hated it. It was awful. My third game of the year.
I don't think I actually have
Dragon Age
anything
of
that
Veilguard is
fits
going to be my game of the year.
What Terrence? What'd you say?
that I said I don't think I have anything that fits that this year.
What? That something sucks?
I have a couple that are
Yeah,
close.
that was on the list. Like how me and Ryan were with was it Dragon Age?
Dragon Age of Veilguard is.
I have a couple that Ken is probably going to accuse me of doing the same thing with. It's a game that I complained about, but made my game of the year list anyway. Because
this fucking game.
For some reason, you're
off.
apparently not allowed to. You're not allowed to criticize games that are still pretty good.
That you still like? Yeah.
No, you're not. That's stupid.
Hey, you know what else sucks? Breath of the Wild. Remember that?
We all know that you hate that game and you have a vendetta against it. That's fine.
I do. Yep.
It's the worst game ever made. Oh, but anyway, as per usual, I will ask if anybody wants to go first.
I can go first since who knows how long my daughter is actually going to nap.
I was going to say, you got a napping baby, so maybe, just in case.
So,
is she still a baby though? She's a toddler at this point.
I was going to say,
right?
yeah, maybe not a baby, but you know.
Yeah, she's 1 no, she'll be 2 in March.
Oh, you're getting close to that rambunctious age.
She's very rambunctious now. So.
Oh, just wait.
Just wait.
So I've got, here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 games.
Whoa.
One of which is my disappointment.
Wow. Oh, sorry.
So I'll start with my disappointment, and this may highly disappoint Jay. Monster Hunter Wilds was a massive disappointment to me.
I get it. There's a lot of things surrounding it that I can understand. But yeah,
I have never finished that game.
We talked about this last week, where I mentioned nobody has talked about that game since the beginning of the year.
There's still a lot of people that play that game.
Oh, I'm sure.
A lot. But they just don't. It's like you said. They just don't talk about it.
There's thousands of people that play Crossfire. I've never met any of them.
I swear to God, I think Crossfire murdered your dog or something because you really have a vendetta against that game.
No, I bring up Crossfire because let's be completely clear. Did anybody really know of that game until that Crossfire X was really announced?
Well, of course
and they
not.
dropped their number count. Exactly, that's my point.
Was it even available?
Yes.
I don't know. I'm asking.
Crossfire was. That's what I'm saying. Crossfire X was the new game in the Crossfire series.
From the old board game. Do anybody remember those commercials?
Oh yeah, I had that game.
Caught up in the Crossfire, baby.
My cousin had that game.
Hell yeah!
But no, I bring it up because it's
took the gun off and started just shooting it.
Yeah.
I bring that up because it's just one of those things where it's I'm sure it does, and I mean the fan base clearly didn't stay with Crossfire X. That's not on them. It's the one where it's the prime example of I just don't hear about it. Now, I'm pretty sure part of that comes from just language on the internet, right? I think most of the players are probably not writing on English parts of the internet, but nevertheless, I didn't really know that series, and it's oh wow, it is popular. very popular, millions of people. So that's the reason why I bring up Crossfire. I'm not shitting on Crossfire, actually. I'm just pointing out.
I feel Monster Hunter is different, though, because everybody does know about it. Everybody loves it. But, even the people who love it this year were kind of, silent on this one.
Well, I would say that I play it, and I play it every time an update comes up, but I don't post it about it or can tell you guys because none of you guys play it, so I'm not going to...
But that's the crazy part is, most of the people on the show did...
Play it all the time.
Yeah, Terrence plays it, and Drew loves it. I know Wombat loves Monster Hunter.
I do, and I started to play this one. I bought it at relatively close to launch and started to play it. My problem was it came out when I was in the middle of playing other stuff, and I kept saying all year, I'm going to get back to it, I'm going to get back to it, I'm going to get back to it, and then I never got back to it. So yeah, I plan still to get back to it because I enjoyed what I played of the game. I just never had time to actually get back to it to devote the kind of time that you have to devote into a Monster Hunter game.
Yeah, and the issue is there's a lot of time you have to devote to this game because of the way the story makes you do things like go and talk to this person and then jump on your mount and ride for 5 minutes and then talk to this person and then, now we got to go ride to this area and then fight a monster. And I'm spending 25 to 30 minutes not fighting monsters in a game where you fight monsters. And was the reason why I didn't ever finish the story. I got pretty deep into it. And the problem is if I wanted to play online, the amount of hoops you had to jump through to play with somebody on your friends list is a nightmare.
I can't believe they still haven't streamlined that.
That's crazy. I feel like that's been a consistent issue.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, it was relatively easy. It was funny in Monster Hunter World. They changed it and made it way easier in Monster Hunter Rise. And then they did this arbitrary thing in Wilds where you have a world state and the people that you're playing with have to be on your world state. Otherwise they won't see the same monsters as you. And I'm just like, what the hell? There's 2 different things you got to do before you can actually play with somebody. And it was just a mess. I did it once and I was like, I don't want to do this again. We just it took the wind out of my sails. Now, as far as the combat goes, it's still a great Monster Hunter game. As far as, the variety of monsters, it's still great. It looks fantastic. But everything surrounding that just dragged it down so bad. It's the most disappointing Monster Hunter game I've ever played.
Yeah. Drew, I would say, as, kind of the de facto Monster Hunter lover in here, I suppose, all your complaints are completely valid. I agree with you 100%. But the way that I see it is that is about 7 to 8 hours of 100-hour experience. Once you get past the story, and you do get past the story very quickly, you get to the part where it really matters, where you go hunt the monster, you do the quest, and the hub stuff and the lobby stuff is actually really good for getting people together and playing, and then the putting out the call to get randoms into your game immediately is also very quick as well. So it is very unfortunate that Monster Hunter Wilds has this stigma behind it, one, for the technical issues, and also secondly for how difficult and obtuse it is for the story mode and how to play with other people and stuff like that. So it's just a shame that it puts kind of its worst foot forward in that experience, and it's unfortunate. But if you do, at some point, since you do own the game, if you want to just breeze through the campaign, because it's not that long, and then if you want to get to the actual meat of the game, where there's all this crazy awesome monsters to fight, all these equipment, skills, and technical things you can do with your weapons that you want to master, then that's when you'll have a good time.
Yeah, and I plan to do that. I just don't have the time to do it, because the problem is I've got to carve out an hour to actually make some progress in this. It got to a point where I was skipping cutscenes. I was just I don't care. I just wanted to fight monsters, and I don't know. Yeah, I'll probably eventually go back to it. I just don't have the time right now, unfortunately. But moving on to my games that I enjoyed this year, I don't know if I necessarily have a game of the year. And some of these games, there's only one game on this list that I've actually completed. The rest of them I've just played and said, hey, this is pretty good. So, and this is in no particular order. Blueprints. I got addicted to that game for probably about 3 weeks.
Like the plans you would use to build a house.
I swear to God damn it. Every time that game comes up in this fucking talk, that's going to be the goddamn joke. It's 2026. We need a new joke. Thank you.
Well,
I'd
probably stop if I knew that you got it. Do you get it?
My thing is, I didn't put 2 and 2 together until after I'd stopped playing that game.
Oh, God damn it, Drew.
Because I'm an idiot. So yeah. But yeah, I thought that game it's definitely got some issues. I think the mystery is fantastic. I think the visuals are great. The main hook of that game is superb. It's just when you figure out what you got to do, RNG will screw you over every time. I know exactly what I need to do to progress, but I keep getting tiles that close me off. And that's kind of what slowed me down. I never finished the game. I got deep into it, though. I think it was part of that zeitgeist, because I know me and Anthony were constantly sending each other messages of have you found this? Did you do this? Have you ran into this yet? And that stuff. And like I said, for almost a month there, I was addicted to this game. I played it every single day. I wanted to know what was going on in the story. I wanted to know what was going on with this house. I think it was fantastic. It's just once I got down to it, RNG was not on my side, and I could not progress. And I kind of got to the point where I was like, I'm done beating my head against the wall. I still don't know the full ending of that game. I never actually spoiled it for myself, because there's a part of me that wants to go back and actually try to see it for myself. Because there was a lot of stuff that I found out on my own, and I was like, oh man, that's like Jonathan Blow wish he could make people feel like this.
Yep.
It's that good.
It gives you aha moments. I'm like, oh, okay.
You're an idiot moment. Yeah.
No, so that's the thing. The more I've observed Jonathan Blow's character and kind of his games, I don't feel like an idiot anymore. I feel like he's a really bad puzzle maker. If your puzzle is, hey, wait for 30 minutes while this fucking cloud goes across the sky, you make bad puzzles. That doesn't make me stupid. It makes your puzzles obtuse and shitty. And I just kind of at the point where it's no, I'm going to call him out. Asshole thinks he's smarter, but it's kind of like how people go, oh, no one can crack the Zodiac's last message or whatever. It's yeah, because it's a lot easier to just arbitrarily throw shit that you can decode. The actual difficulty is making it so it can be decoded by someone else without being intercepted. That's essentially how you have to think about puzzles in video games. If it doesn't make sense to the person at the end, and they can brute force through it or whatever, then you've made a bad puzzle. And a lot of Jonathan Blow's puzzles are bad. The best parts of Braid are the very moment-to-moment gameplay. The interesting ones in The Witness are the observational puzzles. But then there's ones that are based off of sound, and what does the sound mean? I don't know. It's oh, you should just figure it out. It's okay. Oh, wait for this puzzle to finish so the dot goes across so you can finish the puzzle, and it's 40 minutes or whatever of watching the video. And it's just I'm glad I dropped that game because it's not fun. And it just, to me, it's the Blueprints has a lot of moments where it rewards you for just thinking about stuff. You've taken this aspect that we've written down is it useful or not? Somebody complained. Obviously this is on my list, so I won't talk about it later. Somebody complained online that there was a lot of red herrings. But yeah,
there definitely are.
Yeah, there's definitely some, but I also think that a big part of it is not everything is useful in life either, right? So like, yeah, there is a lot of stuff, but when you notice the chess pieces, for example, a puzzle I never solved, the chess pieces clearly mean something. I just hadn't put it together yet. Because there's a chessboard, or maybe it means nothing, but it is something that you start to notice, and like, to me, that is fascinating. When I figured out for the first time the dartboard puzzle, I felt really smart, and then the dartboard puzzles started to add new aspects. At first, I figured it out by working the math backwards. Then it was doing stuff I couldn't necessarily just quickly do in my head.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, clearly I'm missing something. And that puzzle answer is somewhere else, but you have to know to look for it. And you need to know how to get to that point where it's basically like, if you keep notes, everything is referenceable, right? And I think that's really brilliant. And I think this game is what Jonathan Blow really wishes he could make, but he's just too much stuck in Jonathan Blow's head to really make a good puzzle. This game just rewards you for being observational. You don't have to take anything from outside knowledge to make this work. So, yeah, I agree with this being on a list. Drew, did you go into the underground at all?
Oh yeah. I went into the underground.
That's I kind of where I was like,
I was able to make a bridge to where I didn't have to always go a certain way. So I was able to go to the underground multiple ways, but from there I was just like, I'm stuck.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit. Like the fact that the game sets up an ending, and that is not the easiest thing to reach anyways.
Yeah.
And then it sets up even more puzzles after you're done.
Yeah, that's not even from what I have read.
Like 25% of the game.
That's the main goal of that game is about 25%, and to be honest with you, that takes you probably about 12 hours to do.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, wow. And the thing is I don't know if everybody's figured out everything in that game.
They said that it won't. That there's still stuff that they, like, from what they've seen online, that hasn't been solved.
Yeah,
and I just don't think they're bullshitting in this particular scenario because of how many different elements in that game there are. Like, I don't think they're just being like, oh, you didn't solve it, because they did that with like Mega Man 9 or 10 or whatever, where they were like, there's one last secret, and like no one's ever figured it out, no one's ever announced what it was. I just don't think that's the case here. It's like, no, like, the game will not tell you that you've completed all the stuff either, so don't expect like a surprise, you've solved all the puzzles, you've finished blueprints, you can stop now.
Yeah. So yeah, the Blueprints I think is a fantastic game. And if you're into that kind of like puzzle mystery game, because for the longest time I kept thinking, I was like, what's actually happening here? I was like, it is for at least probably 6 hours. I was thinking, I was like, is this kid just hallucinating this stuff? Like, the house is actually not changing. No, the house is actually changing every day.
My favorite is the one, like the couple notes where they couldn't make it to the office or whatever, or their lab, because the house shifted and there was no door to the room.
It's like every time I come to work, I can't find my office. So it's actually really cool.
Also, it's still on Game Pass.
Yes, it is still on Game Pass.
So I just want to point out the publisher of this game is Raw Fury, and I think they might be like my favorite publisher of the year, because they have another game on my list, and there's a game I didn't play from this year that I think I would really like that was also published by them. So,
well, I think I've got the other one on here, which I'm going to mention now, which is Ball X Pit.
That's Devolver.
That's
Devolver. Gotcha. Okay. So Ball X Pit, whatever you want to call it. I got deep into that for about a week. And that's the thing, is like, it's something that I'm like, oh, this kind of grabbed me for a little bit, you know, kind of thing. The thing is like, I'm still playing Balatro. Like today, I played Balatro. So, yeah, I mean, I'm still addicted to that game. But Ball X Pit's really cool. It's got rogue elements. It's got Vampire Survivors, but Breakout is the best way to describe that game. Tons of different upgrades you can do. And the great thing is you can play it in bite-sized things, you know, like a good run, maybe 7 minutes, 8 minutes kind of thing. So I got really addicted to that for a short period of time. Now, a game that I got really into, for about a week and then stopped, was The Altars. I thought that was a really cool game. It's a combination of multiple genres, survival elements, management, like base management, on top of exploration, mixed with dialogue options to not screw over your altars. Did anybody else play this game?
I did.
Just getting ready to say, I completely forgot that game came out.
Yeah. So I really like that game. It's on my list too. Yeah, The Altars is actually really cool. And the thing that the story is, it's full of mystery, but at the same time, it's got like really hardcore, touching moments.
Absolutely.
Where you're trying to, you know, talk to basically a copy of yourself who lived a different life. Man, it's really good. It's really good. And I want to go back to it. Like I said, everything on my list I want to go back to. I just haven't had the time to. The next one, which was probably, I would say probably besides Balatro, my most played game last year, which funny enough is a lot like Balatro, which is Clover Pit. I got to do that game for like a month.
Oh yeah.
That game, man. That's oh man, it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, it's so addictive. You want to just do one run, and then you're like, oh, that run wasn't satisfying because I didn't get a good set of combo. Let me do another one, and then it turns into 3 hours somehow, and then you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. I had that multiple times where I'm like, oh, it's 11 o'clock and I got to go to work tomorrow. Yeah, Clover Pit is fantastic. If you like Balatro, it's a little bit of a different take. There's more mystery to this game. There's kind of a story to it. And you can totally win a run of Clover Pit, but you didn't actually get the ending. You didn't get the real ending. The real ending is difficult as crap to get, but it is doable. So, and I would say that's the game I did actually finish because I got the endings. But even after you get the official ending, you can continue. And it's basically you're locked in a room. There is a pit below you, and you have 3 rounds to win enough coins on a slot machine to go to the next round. So you start off with a handful of coins. You can bet a certain amount of coins and try to play the slot machine. And then there are these relics that you can purchase using the coins that you win to increase the odds of certain things. So cherries may show up more often, or cherries are worth more, stuff like that. So it's really like think of the relics as like your jokers, and everything else you can alter a little bit to win stuff. And then you try to survive a certain amount of rounds, and then you can leave the room. But that's not the full ending. Clover Pit is fantastic. So if you like Balatro or something like that, definitely give that a shot. It's on Game Pass as well. And then my last game, which we're doing for Phoenix Down, we've been doing it for Phoenix Down for 5 months now, is Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
Whoa, is that a new game that came out this year? I haven't heard of it yet.
It's a very small indie game that a few streamers.
Thank you, Anthony.
It's been named.
Well, I mean, contrary to what the internet may say,
it uses AI. It's disqualified.
I don't give a shit. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is a fantastic game.
Wait. Drew, you just prefaced that with saying contrary to the internet?
Yeah, because the internet, as soon as it won Game of the Year from the Keeleys, everybody said it's not that good. Also, they used AI.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think it's a fantastic game. I think it's the story is crazy good. There's a lot of twists and turns. The combat takes some getting used to, but once you get it down, it is some of the most satisfying combat. And then the thing that I think a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of people have done it, but when you actually get down into like the skills and the pictos and the loadouts for your characters, this has more customization than like Diablo does.
Yeah, it's a lot, and you can.
It's insane. Mm-hmm. It's insane. So yeah, Clair Obscur. Everybody's talked about it. Everybody knows about it. There's no real reason to continue talking about it. I wouldn't say it's my game of the year. In fact, if I were going to go say it, Clover Pit would probably be my game of the year because I played the most of it. But yeah, that's all of them. That's all I got. Those are the new games that I played this year.
All right.
Or last year, I should say.
Yeah, I just keep forgetting it's 2026 now. He's typing that new number. All right. Anybody want to volunteer for next?
Sure. Fuck it. Yeah, I got 3 honorable mentions. One of them's not from this year, so I played a lot of No Man's Sky. That game's really fucking good.
You know what's funny is I think No Man's Sky was on my honorable mentions for last year for the same reason, because I played a lot of it.
It's so different from when it came out that it wouldn't have even been close. I probably would have been on the disappointments list the year it came out. Yeah, I put in like 200 hours in like a month and a half. Yeah, way too much. I played. I guess I can consider the first game an honorable mention. I played RoboCop Rogue City at the beginning of this year or last year, I should say. And I loved it. What a fantastic game! Unfinished Business, the sequel, is great, but my PC kept crashing because of Unreal. Well, the game kept crashing. My PC was fine. The game kept crashing. So I never finished it. So it is Unfinished Business still. The other one is yep, that's right. The other one I haven't played a ton of, but I really like it, is Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo. Fantastic Zelda-like. I really think the mechanics are neat. I do love a good Game Boy Advance art style. So yeah, I'll talk more about that on the regular show if I'm on and I've played more of it. So, all right. So number 10 is Yuka Replay. They fixed that game. It's fun now. Clearly breaks some of the original design elements knowingly, but it now plays a lot more like Mario Odyssey rather than a really bad Banjo-Kazooie sequel. This one got its 1.0 this year. It's Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. Hey, it's Vampire Survivors with that game I play a lot of. So it hitting 1.0 added a lot. That game was very samey up until 1.0. And then they added a bunch of new modes. And yeah, I really like that game. It's probably my second favorite of that type of like Vampire Survivor sort of just dodge enemies. And again, like I like the Deep Rock Galactic universe, so it's very easy for me to jump in and kind of just play around for a while. Number 8 is there because I have found joy in just driving around and doing little tasks, but for the most part, I would still not say this is as good as the previous game. It's Mario Kart World. I do like driving around as Nabbit, and then putting him, because he's such a small character, that I either put him in the smallest vehicles or the largest vehicles, because it brings me a sense of joy to watch his little rabbity ears fly back in the wind. But yeah, I do like just driving around in there. It's kind of relaxing, especially with the like jazz fusion covers of a bunch of Mario songs. I do find that highly entertaining. Number 7 is Routine. Weirdly, didn't make any Game of the Year lists from places that I've looked up. Is it the greatest game ever made? No, otherwise it'd be higher up. But for a game that disappeared for 13 years, 12 years, whatever it was, for it to come out and be pretty much what was shown over a decade ago and still be enjoyable, I was highly impressed. It's kind of everything I wanted. I wish the story was better, and I think there was a couple of moments where, I said this in my review, where some of the design choices were not explained to the player, so that when they expected you to do something like go through a small door in the floor, right, like a vent essentially, no doors had been opened by just pushing into them yet. So why would I expect a door to open if I move my character into it when all the other doors had been opened with computers? Small things like that, like also like all the rooms that you can enter are on the exteriors of rooms rather than in the center, because generally, even in real life, you don't have a elevator shaft in the center, or off a little bit towards the wall, but not in the wall. So there was an elevator shaft that I had to go down that I kept walking by, because this game is very detailed. But there's one moment where I wasn't realizing that I was walking by a door because it kind of just looked like a wall. But I still love the game. I kind of wish that there was more of it, which is always a good sign when you walk away from a game. Another one that's not on any list, No, I'm Not a Human. I like a good game that builds paranoia, which Routine did as well in the second half, which I won't spoil. No, I'm Not a Human is a very basic game. There's not really, you don't have to worry about reflexes or anything like that. It's all about management, who you have in your house, who you can have together, and who is potentially one of these creatures. And it's got a very interesting story, and it's dark, and it's grim, and it's messed up. And I think, unfortunately, it's become far more relevant in terms of storytelling in the last couple of months. But I think it's utterly fascinating for a post-apocalyptic story to essentially take place in one house, and the main place where you have control of your character is just a hallway. There's a lot to that game. It's just essentially just menus, though. Menus obfuscated by, what looks more interactive, but it really is just a set of menus, and I'm very impressed with how much paranoia they can build just through storytelling. Number 5 is Once Upon a Katamari. I forgot that game came out until I watched a video of somebody's least favorite games of the year. I won't say who, but I'm sure Ken knows. And he was disappointed with this game. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know why. I've played a lot of Katamari games. Most. I think there's like one or two. No, there's one iOS game that no longer exists that I didn't play. And I want to say there was an Android one that I don't remember playing either. But I've played most of your Katamari games, and like I played the Vita version and didn't like that. I think the PS3 game is okay, but like, and I think Beautiful Katamari is great. It looks pretty, but there were some weird choices made there. And so it's kind of been hard to live up to the standard that We Love Katamari, the game's first sequel. It's been hard to live up to the standard of that. Once Upon a Katamari adds new modes and adds new ideas, and I'm very impressed that for once the things that they are adding are not annoying, like the stretching of the ball in the Vita version where you had to like use the touch screen to like flatten or whatever the Katamari. It's like, what are we doing? I don't want to fucking have to. I just want to roll the ball around and collect junk. That's pretty simple. So yeah, there's just some interesting takes on that, and the soundtrack. So I bought the version that had all the old classic songs because Lonely Rolling Star should be in every Katamari game. And I've barely used those tracks. It's a little obtuse to use them. I'm not a fan of that, but the new music's fantastic. I haven't felt this good about a Katamari soundtrack probably since Beautiful Katamari. And yeah, very impressed with that game. I think it's a lot of fun. I think they did some really interesting stuff. It's kind of where it's like you need to keep thinking like this rather than gimmicky shit, because your console has, a feature or whatever. So I'm really impressed with that. Number 4 is Ball X Pit, as Drew has already mentioned. Yeah, I didn't know how much I'd like this game. I think the real thing that gets me is that they want you to complete every level with all the characters. All the characters play extremely different, which I was surprised about. The thing that excites me the most, and it takes elements of Vampire Survivors clearly, but the ability to is it fusion? Yeah, it's fusion. Where so there's upgrade, which like when you have explain Vampire Survivors, when you have a weapon and the corresponding item, and they're both, well, the weapon is fully upgraded, you can get the more powerful version of that weapon. In Bollock's Pit, when you have two balls that are sorry, I'm laughing like a child, are fully upgraded, both level 4, you can upgrade, and when you upgrade, they fuse into a new ball that has usually a unique power and most of the powers of the two balls that were upgraded into it. But it also allows you to do fusion, where it takes two fully upgraded balls, but they do not have that upgrade path, but it frees up another space in your inventory, because you can only have 4 balls and 4 items. So I really think that, like, if Vampire Survivors wanted to take something from Ball X Pit, that would be awesome, because it allows me to sort of keep going with the upgrades to try to make myself even more powerful. Because you can also take 2 balls that you've gotten from 2 separate upgrades, so 4 to 2, and make them 1, so you now have 3 extra slots. It's a lot, and then the town building process is really neat, and I think that's like also another hook that I just couldn't believe how good this game was, because, and I don't necessarily agree that people say it's like Breakout. It really kinda isn't. It works very differently. It uses some of the mechanics of Breakout. The fact that there's a ball going up a tunnel and that it can like get behind the enemies and stay at the top of the screen. Sure. But it also does, like, you don't lose anything from not catching it. So it works a bit differently than I expected, but it's uniquely its own thing. I really like that. Number 3, my favorite racing game of the year is Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I actually felt challenged by a kart racer for once. I like a good kart racer. I wish their DLC plans were a little bit more consistent. Like I said, I wish there were more courses. But it's also really hard in a post Mario Kart 8 Plus or Deluxe or whatever it's called world to kind of compare kart racers to it, because that game has 100 plus courses. But it's just, I found myself, even when trying to play online, I was playing a lot of the same courses because players get to vote. So there was courses I just didn't see. But yeah, I was really impressed with the amount of stuff to do in that game. Again, though, the limited course roster does make it a little difficult to keep wanting to go back. So I'm just waiting for the DLC to finish, and then I'll go back to it. I know that we have Pac-Man just came out. Risk coming out.
It's out. That track is pretty good.
Okay, so then we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Mega Man still.
That's the one I'm waiting on.
Or is it Avatar?
It's
Mega
Avatar
Man,
and then Mega Man.
Yeah. And I think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has been announced too. I don't know. There's a lot. They say they're just going to work on like a season 2. My issue right now is that like you need more courses, and you've added Sega characters. Bring courses for those Sega characters. I would like to go around. I don't know. Fuck it. I guess Hawaii is the most recent location. Hawaii to do for my Like a Dragon Yakuza, or the Dream World from Knights, or whatever. So yeah, and then a Persona 1 would go hard, but apparently that is out of the question. This is where it became a little difficult, and I'm sure people know exactly what's going to be the list, just not what order. So my number 2, it was number 1 for a long time, but when I thought about it, I'm like, well, the other game just resonated with me more. Number 2 is Blueprints. I've already said enough about that game. I think it's genius. I think it's a lot of fun. It's a great game that if you have a significant other that you can play it with, 2 heads are better than 1. It's not like there's anything that's reflex sensitive. It's all just kind of puzzle work. So, it's a lot of fun. I mean, Drew and I were sort of sharing messages back and forth while we were playing. I really think that game is sort of brilliant. I'm excited to see what that dev does next. Give me a second. So Routine and Blueprints were both Raw Fury. And the game that I didn't get around to, but Seance of Blake Manor, is also a game that says, wow, Anthony would really like this. Which is why like they got 2 games on my Game of the Year list. And it's not just, hey, because I have nostalgia for it. Because the only other one that got 2 games on this list was Nintendo, because my number 1 is Donkey Kong Bonanza, because it's Donkey Kong Bonanza and I love that game.
Banana.
I mean, it's there's really not much to say about it. It's the same quality you'd expect. I mean, I have all the transformations. I've been getting all the bananas as I go along. I'm clearly very close to finishing it. And yeah, I stepped back because I was just like, I'm doing this every waking minute, and I need to stop for a little bit. I have other things I need to do. But yeah, that game is just a lot of fun, and that's one thing that, like, I hate to say it, but even with Mario Kart World, it's like I hate to say that Nintendo clearly were toy makers, but it does feel like I'm playing with toys still. I remember enjoying games as a kid. That's kind of the reason why I think I liked Odyssey so much. There was like a level of exploration, of wonder, of discovery in that game that the same team did Bonanza, and it shows. There were some moments, like I said, like a week or 2 ago. I guess it was last week, actually. But there was moments where I would get somewhere and I'd go, oh, you don't have anything for me here. which Odyssey did a lot better job of. But at the same time, everything's destructible, and I think that shows like a very different mindset of how the world would work. Like I've solved puzzles that were clearly meant to be solved another way just by like brute forcing my way through somewhere else and basically just digging a tunnel. Yeah, I can't get enough of it, but I'm trying to not have I'm trying to have self-control, so I haven't gone back to it since getting the last transformation, because again, I would just sit there all weekend doing that and then go to bed and then wake up and play Donkey Kong Bonanza. So I was like, I'm gonna put a stop to that for the time being. But yeah, number one, my favorite game of the year was Donkey Kong Bonanza.
All right.
Nice.
Move on to the next person. Anybody want
to? I'll go. Why not?
All right.
Let's see here. All right. I'm going to keep the honorable mentions short because I have played a lot of games I think that deserves a shout out, but I'm going to kind of dynamically choose the games that hasn't been mentioned yet. So Hades 2, honorable mention. I think if I had more time, if I were to ever like go through the whole entire game, I would probably put it much higher. I think it's fantastic. If you play Hades 1, it's just like that, but just a little bit more polished in a lot of ways in terms how the skills and the progression feels like. It just feels really good. The voice acting, the visuals, all really shine throughout the whole game. And even though I'm only like 7 hours in right now, I plan to go back and do the whole thing and play as much as I did with Hades 1. Another honorable mention is Chronos: The New Dawn. Did anyone else play this in here?
I did. I found it
Yeah,
a little too hard for its own good. I think is my biggest issue with it.
Gotcha. I can kind of see like you do end up in situations if you are a little reckless with your ammunition, you can be in a situation where you don't have enough ammunition to kill everything, and you have to really use the environmentals that they throw at you because you can keep spawning the environmentals over and over again, right? So it kind of behooves you to use the environmental, respawn it using your powers, and then use it again and again and again. If you have to shoot everything that walks, I think you probably run out of ammunition before it's over.
Yeah, I think not just that, but like a lot of times they put you in situations that are hard to avoid shooting the enemies because the corridors are so tight.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really what got me. Is like you get in this U-shaped room and there are two enemies, and like they slap you and it takes like half your health, and it's like, well, what the hell am I supposed to do? You know?
Yeah, I hear you. I like that. It kind of reminded me of like the first time I was playing like Dead Space. That game was also a little bit difficult if you didn't know what was going on, especially if you play on the hard mode. So I didn't mind it too much, but what I did enjoy was that it had a pretty interesting hook to the story in regards to the outbreak of this terrible parasite virus thing that is engulfing the world, and how the people that you play as these enigmatic like pseudo android machine things, like how they fit into the picture and how they go about traveling across time and space and stuff like that. That was pretty cool. And the fact that it was an original IP from Bloober, I mean, we didn't really give them the benefit of the doubt for Silent Hill 2 remake, and they did a very good job with that. And the fact that they came out with this own original game, and it turned out to be better than I expected. It's not like the best of the horror genre, or anything like that, but it's still very solid, and I fully enjoy playing it. So I wanted to give them some props in that regard. My last honorable mention is going to be Atelier Yumiya. Came out, I think, January this year. And it's one of those games where I played so many Atelier games over the year, and it's just nice to see the series kind of evolve and change over time, kind of move its focus. And in this one, it was all about exploration of the world. You're in this giant open world, and you're kind of going around, and every single little thing that you do kind of contributes to the progression of your own character and the way that they're able to handle in fights, and also more things that they can do in the environment to access more areas and so on and so forth. Very satisfying to play through, and I also like the main character that they introduce. So yeah, I think the series is a great spot. Looking forward to playing more. So getting to the top 10, I would say only the top 3 are in order, and the rest of them are not. So starting off, Monster Train 2. I know, Terrence, you played this game for a little while. Did anyone else play this? No one else
Nope,
played
I don't think
Monster
so.
Train. Oh, well, let me tell you
They don't
about it
play
then.
card games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No card games for me.
Yeah, you're not playing like 20% of the games out there, then, Ken. You're missing out.
I'm okay with that.
All right. But anyway, Monster Train 2, I didn't play the original. I thought the original looked kind of interesting, but I never played it, even though I own it. And when Monster Train 2 came out on Game Pass, I was like, you know what? I have some time. I want to play something while I'm not like, busy at work or when I'm on standby, just to get like a little bit, like 10, 15 minutes of gaming going. And it turned out to be way better than I expected. It's a card game, just like Terrence pointed out, and it's one of those situations where you have to build your deck. You have all these different types of classes and races and spells, and all these variations of like events that can happen while you are traversing through the levels and stuff like that. And it's so much fun. Oh man, it's one of those. It reminded me of what was that game? Slay the Spire, quite a bit in terms of the way you progress, but the way that they have the presentation of the cabins of the train. So you have like multiple layers of cabins that you kind of have to protect so that they don't go all the way to the top and attack your train's engine, which loses you permanent health and stuff like that. So there's so much strategy involved in the placement of your units, the cards that they use in terms of your spells, and how you decide to buff them up. It's truly one of the best ones of its kind that I've played. I highly recommend it. If anything else, if you enjoy Slay the Spire and games like it, then you should definitely have a try at Monster Train 2. Another game, Death Stranding 2 on the beach. I think this is one of those games where it's been nominated for a lot, but it hasn't won a lot of games. And I kind of get why that is, because I think it's a very good game in terms of the polishing of a lot of the gameplay mechanics of the first game to make it kind of control better and feel better to play overall. The inclusion of more functional vehicles really makes things go a lot easier in terms of your exploration. And I would say that this game probably has the most graphically impressive level that I have seen in a video game of all time. Can you remember that first like sort of dream sequence? You're kind of in that like circus, and there's
You
like
talk about the
fireworks going on everywhere.
fireworks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is incredible. The amount of
Yeah.
particle effects on that, holy shit! And with like HDR, like with like an OLED screen, it just goes crazy. And it's still, besides the fact, like even though I was playing on a base PS5, it still ran perfectly. Like there were like very, very small hitches here and there, but for the most part, I felt that the performance and everything, it was very well optimized. I didn't have any problems, any technical issues and everything. So it was just a really cool experience, and it has some moments in that game that I'm sure like basically never to forget. So, kudos to Kojima on that one. I don't think it made the kind of splash and impact
It
that the
was
first game did.
it was more just like here's Death Stranding but better. Like
Yeah.
it felt more like, I don't want to say expansion, but kind of like an expansion. Like here's a continuation. We've refined all of these mechanics that kind of sucked in the first game. And it just, I don't know. Like the story was interesting. I don't know. It's weird. Like I don't see him making a third one. Like I just feel like it's time to move on. Like you've done this idea, it's cool. Yeah. The story is cool. And I don't know. But yeah, it's a very good game.
I think I understand where you're coming from, Ken. Like this game, obviously they made improvements, but in terms of a lot of the things, what they can do with the story, obviously they can pull anything out of their ass to continue the story any way they want. But as a game and as an evolving gameplay experience, I think this is about as far as the formula can take it. Like they've done most everything that makes sense to do. So unless they decide to change up the formula very drastically, I don't see it being something that would be worthwhile to have a third game in the series for. But yeah, for this one at least, I thoroughly enjoyed it and I thought it was very good. Another game that was a surprise is the first Berserker, Kazan. Anyone else play that game in here?
I did. That was a pretty good Souls Born type game. I liked that one.
Yeah, that one is pretty interesting because it kind of comes from a developer that hasn't made any of these games before. They are mostly famous for like an online, mobile game specifically. So the fact that they're kind of expanding their repertoire of games, and then their first attempt at a Souls-like ended up being this good. And this is a very action-heavy Souls-like as well. So you're doing crazy combos, very precise timing, like just not I wouldn't say just frame, but very precise timing, like routing for different types of moves, switching between different weapon types on the fly. It's just very cool in terms of what you can do. It feels more like as fast as a Ninja Gaiden game can get sometimes if you're using the right kind of weapons. Like obviously if you use like a big two-hander, it's going to be much slower, but if you're using like the quicker spear and stuff like that, it ends up being very fast paced. I also enjoy the story. I think they set up very nicely for where the series wants to go. And some of the spectacles and the big boss fights were very memorable because of how big they were, and I took a lot of tries on some of the bosses, and then it was very satisfying to overcome them over time. But yeah, I ended up being quite good. Another one that caught me by surprise in a different way is the 100-line Last Defense Academy. So this is a game kind of like I wouldn't say completely a spiritual successor to like a Danganronpa game, but it definitely has some of its DNA. Mostly because it has the same artist doing the art, and I think some of the developers of the Danganronpa series was on this one as well. And if I were to really go into any kind of detail about this game and what makes it so impressive, I will be spoiling it, so I won't do that. But I'll say when I went into this game, I had no idea what I was truly going in for. It's one of those games that rips the rug underneath you after kind of setting you up. And that setup process takes like 25 hours. And then you finally get to the spot where you're like, oh, you're doing this, huh? And then it's one of those things where like I can't believe they actually pulled it off. I can't believe it's as good as it is, given the size of its scope and ambition. And yeah, it's just kind of a one of a kind in that way. I've never seen a game go that far on its own concept to try to realize it. So if you want to play like a visual novel and like a strategy RPG game meshed in one with some truly larger than life concepts and ideas, I say check out a 100-line Last Defense Academy. The next game, I actually expected this game to be on someone else's list by now. Dispatch. Did anyone else play Dispatch?
I have not played it.
Anyone?
I haven't
Really? No
either.
one else?
It's on my list of
Oh,
stuff I
dang.
wanted to play, though.
Yeah, I haven't played it either.
Yeah, I know. For me, I was kind of waiting to see if they do an Xbox version.
Mm. Well, they got everything else but Xbox coming out, so that's good.
Well, it's out on
So,
what PS5 and PC right now, and then they just announced it for Switch, I think.
Yeah. So one more to go, I guess. I'm not gonna get into the whole why they're not releasing it to other consoles or whatever. But I'll say this, I believe, is a lot of developers that used to be in Telltale, and you can see a lot of their DNA, but they have really gone full cinematic in terms of the presentation of the game for its benefit. I think this is some of the most well written game as well in terms of just like a lot of the characters. Like I've not laughed playing through one game this many times in this entire year, maybe the year before. This is one of the most funniest, like charming game I played in a long time, and that speaks to the writing quite a bit. And also the fact that this is not like a walking simulator where you just make choices. You also have that gameplay element where you're dispatching heroes, and there's this management element to it, which is actually a fun game unto itself. Like if they made that mode into an endless mode, I would hop in and play there for a couple of hours every now and then. It's just that much fun to do. Just kind of trying to figure out which heroes you should send to which dispatch job, what would be the best fit, leveling them up, getting new skills and stuff like that. It's very fun, and that's the one thing that Telltale games were never able to do, is to really put in a gameplay element that sticks and can be evolved in the course of its playtime. And Dispatch was basically the first game to actually do that. So not only does it have great writing, great characters. I wouldn't say like amazing story. I think the story is kind of like, yeah, it's good. It's solid. But the fact that they're able to make it actually into a game that you actually want to play for its gameplay elements as well, I think that is kind of the way to go for these kind of games going forward. They should have more ambition of what they're attempting to do. And I think when you guys play this game later down, you guys will like it quite a bit in terms of what you're going to see. Next game on the list, and this one, well, I guess I would say the next two games were very much in contention for top three. But I was thinking back on it on a lot of different elements and stuff, and I decided to kind of drop them down slightly. But the first the game is Trails in the Sky First Chapter Remake. So if you know me, you know Trails is like one of my favorite series ever. Yeah.
So I have to say this. I am crossing off. So I wrote down, because you haven't been on the podcast, and why would you listen? I wrote down the top 50 Metacritic's scores. OpenCritic, I did 19 because I had there was a couple of exclusions that I kept off if the game wasn't finished, which was Deltarune, or the game was a reissue, which was the Zelda Switch 2 editions.
Yeah.
I kept them off. But I also got Inverse, Rolling Stone, Time, Forbes, which had unranked, Games Radar Plus, don't go to that website, it was terrible, AP, Vulture, The Guardian, Polygon, GameSpot, which was unranked, Game Informer, Game Rant, and IGN. And so I've been crossing them off. And I'm going to tell you right now, while I was writing this list, I just kept saying to myself, you should just mark this off. You know it's on Jay's.
You're right. You're right on the money. And for very good reasons. Honestly, like I've always had people come to me because they know that I do love this Trail series, which is like 14 games in deep into a continuous story so far. And it's one of the most difficult games to get into because of that fact, right? The original game's Trails in the Sky First Chapter was on the fucking PSP of old console, right? So it's one of those games, and now they've been really released to PC and stuff like that. They're more readily available. Trails kind of went through a renaissance where a lot of the games, even the ones that never received the localization, have eventually come to the States. And now we're even getting same time worldwide releases, which is like one of my biggest hopes for the series. So it's been fantastic. And to kick it off, kind of remaking the very first game into this really faithful but tastefully modernized take into the game is just amazing. And I can't
I'm not surprised.
Go ahead.
Because I'm not surprised because that's what Falcom's been doing with the East series too, right? Like
yes.
a couple of the original Yeast games were made into isn't it 3 that's Oath and Falgana?
I have no idea how the numbers
I believe that's East 3 that they remade, and it's like so it's just they do a really good job of not fucking up their history.
Yeah. I see what you mean by that. They also, have a attention for it.
Just to be clear, Jay said this was a hard series to get into. Well, you have to understand, Trails of the Sky is part of the Legend of Heroes, and the Legend of Heroes is part of the Dragon Slayer series. Is that hard to understand?
But I will say that the Dragon Slayer games are kind of
is all bullshit. Yeah. Well, the Dragon Slayer series is kind of bullshit too because there was I think Xanadu is technically part of the Dragon Slayer series.
And Xanadu as well
is a spin-off of Xanadu for the Famicom.
The way that we look at it in terms of like Trails fandom is that Trails in the Sky First Chapter is the first game of the Trails series, and the games that have the Legend of Hero moniker before that, like the Dragon Slayer stuff, doesn't count into the story of the continent of Zemuria, where all of the other games take place, I believe. So that's the way that I see it. I haven't played the original games. So at some point in time, I want to at least try them, but for now, I'm off of them. I got enough games to play. But going back to the First Chapter remake, it adds so much. And then it also, because it adds voice acting, because the voice acting is so good, it adds to the character's charm so much. And the hybrid combat engine that they kind of borrow from the later Trails games with their own little take here also works really well. So it's fun to play. But yeah, I mean, if you have this question that I've been asked many a times, which game that you should start Trails from, is that you should start with the first chapter remake. It's generally the way to go, and then second chapter remake is of course coming out later this year, which will undoubtedly be on my list for 2026 as well.
So
Legacy of the Wizard.
Yeah, so I posted it in the Discord, but so another game in the Dragon Slayer series on the NES is Legacy of the Wizard, and that is another one of those games that my mother bought me on the NES that was could not figure out what was happening. And I played it. And it's kind of a neat game, but I could not, for the life of me, figure out what was happening in that game at 7 or 8 years old when I played it the first time.
Brother, that game was published by Broderbund.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's you should look up so You Can Beat Video Games did actually a really good video on Legacy of the Wizard. It's a neat game, but it was completely impenetrable for 8-year-old Ryan.
But it includes a password feature.
It does include a password feature. That is true.
I've been watching the guy from Basement Brothers who's playing all the like PC 88 and 98 games go through because I went through his back catalog. He's still putting out new stuff. He went through like the Dragon Slayer games that were on the PC 88 and 98. And yeah, those games are not connected at all. That's the only reason why I was bringing it up. It's like those games are. He's like, yeah, no, they don't really have anything to do with it. It's like these games you play, those games, you know, are a different series altogether. And I guess it's because the one guy was the producer on all of it, and he was just like, yeah, it's part of the Dragon Slayer series now. It's like Xanadu has nothing to do with the last game.
So one of the things I want to bring up about this is I have played one of the games. I've played the Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel.
Yeah, we did it for Phoenix Down, right, Drew?
We did.
Yeah.
And the one thing I will say about those games, and it's rare to see, and I think it's just the way they've set up that game series, is that usually when you're playing a turn-based role-playing game and you're on a boss fight, status effects other than maybe lowering defense and lowering attack usually don't work on bosses. But Legend of Heroes, you can totally poison a boss. And I know in Trails of Cold Steel, you could have all that stuff stack. So some of the strategy with beating bosses was to do status effects that stack with each other and then just let it kill the boss. And I was like, okay, that's perfect. That's exactly, when I found that out, I was like, this changes up my entire strategy with this game. So it's rare to see when that goes on. But another game that does that is the wonderful Clair Obscur. You throw burn on a boss and just let it tick it down.
Yeah, just to give it like 999 stacks of burn.
Yep.
Watch it do like 200k damage per turn. It's great.
It's awesome.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, Trails in the Sky. I mean, if you guys ever wonder why is Jay so goddamn obsessed with this stupid ass JRPG series, check out this game. Maybe you'll understand a little bit. It's great. The next game, which is the last game before the top 3, is going to be Hollow Knight, Silksong. I know that we have a lot of haters here for Hollow Knight and Silksong, but I can tell you this is an excellent game. And it is basically Hollow Knight, but better in just most ways. It's just more polished. A lot of the bosses and stuff like that have more interesting mechanics and things you can interact with. The map and the way that you traverse, explore, it's just also very satisfying. And a lot of the complaints about the game originally about its difficulty and stuff like that, which I didn't fully agree with, but I kind of understood like where people were coming from because it was really too punishing in certain aspects and in certain areas of the game. They toned that down quite a bit, and they're putting out the new DLC and stuff like that in the future. So I'm very much looking forward to it. Does it deserve the hype? Does it warrant the amount of years that it took to make it? That I can't speak on. All I can say is that I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do next with the series. So going into the top 3, bottom 3, number 3 is going to be Clair Obscur Expedition 33. For every reason that Drew mentioned, And yeah, I'm not gonna talk any more about the game than it has already been said at every other award show in the game industry. Number 2 is going to be Monster Hunter Wilds. So despite this game being on Drew's disappointed list, and to be honest, it disappointed me too in some ways, especially early on with so many technical issues and stuff. But most of the stuff that Drew was talking about is within the story mode, which you get through in like 7, 8 hours or something like that. My playtime right now, as of this podcast, is 430 hours, 0.3 hours. So after the 7 or 8 hours of rough times, everything else was just a lot of fun. Just hunting monsters, mastering certain weapons, trying to beat monsters with some really great times, trying to get different sets of armor, try to build different things so you can try to carry other hunters and stuff like that. And as they continuously put out new DLC, the most recent fight from like the Savage Omega and to like Gagmazios kind of as the big final Elder Dragon threat at the end of this DLC campaign for Wild before the expansion was all fantastic. I wish there's more updates, more frequent updates and more monsters. I think we had more stuff going around the Monster Hunter world generation. We just had more frequent updates and more I guess more collaborations and such that was going on. So, but I kind of understand to some degree why because it's the graphic fidelity and all the other stuff surrounding the game. It just takes more time to develop, and I wish they were faster on getting a lot of these technical issues resolved. It took them literally months, and the game in Steam is on their like mixed rating still. At the end of the day, with how they have not managed PC versions launch very well. I think Capcom is kind of beginning to see the numbers that are speaking for themselves, that how much of their games are selling better on PC than on consoles now. So I hope they can use this as a lesson to do better, on the expansion to Monster Hunter World and additional games. It looks like they are taking the PC version of like Resident Evil 9 very seriously with all the features and functionalities that they're looking out to put in all, from the get-go. So I hope that is a trend that will continue, and the negativity surrounding the game, hopefully will subside by the expansion comes time. But for me, yeah. I think in terms of playability, oh, sorry, Ryan, go ahead.
I was just going to say to that point, I do wonder because the game looks really good. I wonder in some ways if it looks a little too good, because knocking it down to performance mode, it looks terrible. And as it sits, Play-Doh. It's Play-Doh, exactly. And as it sits, it's unplayable on Steam Deck. So because it's it's too visually intense to match the performance that you need to play a game like that. So I do wonder if the sort of the visual style of this one helped it or hurt it more than it helped it with some of the problems that you're talking about, and also probably hurt some of its positioning on PC, considering the other two games work great on Steam Deck, and this one's just too far along. Which is, I mean, it's understandable that they want to advance the technology. Those other two games came out on the PS4 and the Wii Switch, respectively. So but it did, I think, it hurt my playability of it because I had to buy it on Xbox because I couldn't play it on Steam Deck.
Yeah. I think I agree with you 100% there. And a lot of what other people have been saying is that the game certainly looks good, but it doesn't look that good enough to warrant such a high performance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and especially, it does not have visuals that downgrade well when you try to move it to performance mode, or when you try to lower the specs to play it on a worse machine. The visuals do not downgrade gracefully.
Yeah, definitely. So hopefully, like I was saying about Capcom learning their lessons, they will have learned some lessons about maybe better optimizing or better having, the different types of graphic presets to yield better results so that it can ultimately be playable on the Steam Deck for what they're going for, and just in general, just to have a better performance overall, because I think they've done a little too much in this regard. So hopefully we'll see how that goes. And my number one game, I think this is probably a game that the most of you guys don't even know about, is called Look Outside. Have anyone heard of it, played it?
Is that the RPG?
Yeah,
Yep,
don't
it's
even
the
know
horror
about it.
RPG.
So,
Yeah.
so Look Outside, I bought around the same time No, I'm Not Human. The concept is a little similar. Little. In terms of the fact that weird shit's happening. If I'm correct.
Yeah,
Hold on,
yeah,
let me
yeah.
double check. Yeah, single apartment building. Yeah, so I picked it up because I'm like, oh, these kind of have like similar vibes, but are taking very different takes on them.
Yes,
And
I
I
get
just
that.
chose No, I'm Not a Human instead of Look Outside. But I do know this game. Yes, the pixel art is insane.
Oh, yeah, that's one of the things that sticks out to me, because a lot of these pixel art games are kind of known to be very simple, right, in terms of their visual presentation. But Look Outside really goes the extra mile. It has like in-game cinematics with pixel art, right? And it is one of those games that really takes its concept to the next level. So the basic premise is that you wake up one night and then you have a strong desire to look outside. If you do, and then obviously this is the very first thing that you can possibly do in this entire game, so not much of a spoiler. When you do look outside, you are witness to a cosmic horror of like beyond imagining, and everything about what happens in this game, the cosmic horror scale of the things that they do, the consequences of your actions, the moment to moment gameplay, which kind of plays out like a typical turn-based RPG, like one of the older. It actually, the turn-based RPG kind of plays out a lot of reminds me of either like earlier Final Fantasy, earlier like Dragon Quest, with each kind of member having their turn, and then you have like the enemies kind of coming in from you from the screen, getting closer, and they are changing on top of that. So it has this sense of overwhelming dread that kind of hovers over the entire experience. And I was playing this around the spooky, Spooktober season, so it was like the perfect game for me to play. And the more that I play this game, the more how I saw like a lot of the quests and stuff like that impact the world state. How there are these clever solutions to like puzzles and things that you have to do. How crazy the enemy types get, and every single enemy that you end up fighting, you have no idea if that enemy will be the death of you. You know what I mean? It's one of those situations where you feel like you're fighting to the death and you might die at every single moment. And truth be told, you probably can't. Like if you make the wrong choice, if you try to fight something that seemed overwhelmingly powerful, and the game has a very clever way of letting you know, because if you end up trying to get into a fight with something that is a much higher level than you get the first prompt which says you get the feeling that you should run away. So it's kind of like letting you know, kind of giving you that sense of dread and saying, oh shit, you might not be strong enough to take this. But in truth, if you have the correct items, if you have like a decent party and stuff like that, you can take enemies out that are way higher level than you, and you can be suitably rewarded with some very interesting, powerful items here and there. And just exploring this entire apartment complex, finding out the truth about this cosmic horror outside the window and how it's impacting everyone is just fascinating. So if you are in the mood for like a horror game, that is difficult, I mind, but it also has like an easy mode as well if you want to have a more, I guess, less stressful. Is the way that I would put it. Then it also gives you access to things like auto saves and other stuff like that that actually makes a playthrough much easier. So for the first playthrough, I would say it's not a bad idea to go with easy mode. This is one of those games where normal mode is very, very difficult from the get-go. So if you find yourself getting stuck playing the game, start with easy mode, and once you're more familiar with the game and you want to do a replay for like a different ending or something like that, which this game has many different endings depending on the actions that you take throughout the course of the game. So, it's one of those situations, but highly, highly, highly recommend Look Outside. If anything that I said today interests you, It's a very cheap game as well. I think it's like $15 or something like that, so won't break the bank. So yeah, check that out.
I posted in the chat how you could see why I would be like, oh yeah, in the same vein as like, oh yeah, looking through people's and seeing creepy fuckers standing outside the door. That's always fun.
Yeah.
Oh god, what was that? That actually was on one list. Surprisingly, Look Outside. Game Rant had it as their number. Give me a second here. I can scroll across.
I agree with Game Rant. Fuck.
Yeah,
I'm basic as fuck.
Yeah, they're number 9. So.
Oh, okay. That's pretty low on the list. So I can take that as my number 1. But like you were saying, it has all this like crazy stuff. And the interesting thing is, you see that screenshot that you posted of the creep, and you seeing looking through the peep window of your door, right? When you are resting and doing things within your apartment to pass the time, because this game has like a time limit on how things are gonna play out. That's how you recruit a lot of the characters, and it's like randomized. You don't even know who's gonna be there. The same person can appear to you on the window and try to have you open the door. And then it turns out that same person that was a human last playthrough could be a monster.
That's literally that is no, I'm not a human, but it's all deduction based. So
so in this one is instead of
it being an RPG, you're like, okay, well this time I'm checking your fingernails, this time I'm checking your teeth, your eyes, because they're all different aspects that are randomized with certain characters. Certain characters always one of the beings. But yeah, it's funny that that's a similar aspect, but how they're handling it is very different.
Yeah, it's very different. And
there was another game.
Huge.
There was another game that came out this year that I can't remember what it's called, and it's sort of a Exit 8 sort of game, but it's the same concept where it's an apartment that you're in, and you go to the door each time. You have to take your pills. It should not. These two games, and it is not the same.
Oh, okay. You broke up there for a second after your Exit 8 thing.
Oh, it was similar to Exit 8, but it's not very good. I'm gonna be honest. It's like, all right, well, that one I'm gonna just put on the back burner.
I never heard of this Look Outside thing, but just looking it up, that screenshot is mild compared to the stuff.
I took the mild screenshot, not the battle sequence.
That's like the tip of the iceberg, gentlemen. I can tell you, this is a game that genuinely disturbed me with a lot of the physical horror and stuff like that that's going on, because it's one of those things where you see how situations evolve. Like you see a monster, and then that's not just a monster. The monster evolves and becomes more grotesque over time. Sometimes parts of the monster's flesh peels off and becomes its own monster that you have to fight during the fight against it. It's like it gets fucking crazy. And sometimes monsters will break apart and go away, and you have to like track them down. And so, like I said, it really goes hard on this concept, and it goes all in. And this is one of those games where the developer really, really, really cares. And it's been putting out updates even after the full 1.0 release with new content, more polishing and stuff like that. So, plays also plays very good on Steam Deck, as you might imagine. So if you are interested, definitely check that one out.
All right. I've been playing my bingo card here. I like to do as this show goes on to see how many of the games on my list have been mentioned. So far out of my top 10, 2.
Nice. Right. It's been a good year for games, so we have all these different games to talk about.
So I have 8 games that have not even been mentioned yet. I know Terrence is going to nail a couple of them for me.
So I'm gonna guess that Bonanza is one of them.
Yes, Bonanza is one of them.
And the other one,
Death Stranding 2.
There you go, Drew.
That's probably it.
You got it.
Kind of figured.
Wow.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I know what your number 1 is, Ken.
I mean, is it even like a question at this point? Like, come on.
And I know probably what's Wombat's number 1.
Oh yeah, I know what Wombat's number 1 is.
So, that's been obvious for a while. So
yeah. You won't shut the fuck up about it.
All right, Wombat, Terrence. Which one of you wants to go next?
Well, since everybody knows y'all's, nobody knows mine, which is awesome. I
feel like I could guess a couple, but I don't know what tickled your fancy the most.
You've probably played the widest array of games this year.
Yeah, he plays the most. I'm going to say this, and I could be wrong. I think Arc Raiders may be on your list.
It is on my list. Bingo. You were right. Yeah. I've played a lot of shit this year. It took me a while to do this. So I don't have a disappointments, but I have a games I've wanted to play, but I didn't either have the time or the money to get it. And it's Alien Rogue Incursion, Knights in Tight Spaces, Dispatch, Promise Mascot Agency, Elden Ring, Night Rain, Metal Gear Solid, Delta, Snake Eater, Mafia: The Old Country, World War Z VR, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Final Fantasy Tactics, Ghost of Yotei, and why did I put Dispatch on here twice? Because it's just that good.
Because you really want to play it.
I really want to play Dispatch. Okay. So yeah, it's been a good year for games. There's been just a ton of shit that's come out. So my honorable mentions, Dynasty Warriors Origins. Ryan talked about this last week. This game is great. This is what I think a lot of us Dynasty Warriors fans wanted or envisioned the series to be back in the day when, in our head when we were playing it. That's how we saw it. I love all the different weapon types. I like that you are, not a main character in the rebellion or in the story. You created your own character, they inserted a new character in the Yellow Turban Rebellion stuff. So that's seeing it kind of play out from the outside is kind of nice. But yeah, just a great fucking Dynasty Warriors game. RoboCop Rogue City Unfinished Business. Anthony and I talked about this game. Rogue City was already great. Unfinished Business continued on with that greatness. Had a really good story. I liked the concept of it. Kind of if you saw, there's probably other things that I can't think of, but the one that comes to mind is the movie Dredd, the Judge Dredd movie with Carl Urban, where you're kind of locked in that apartment complex and you got to get to the top floor. That's kind of basically what's happening in Rogue City. There's a terrorist attack and you have to get through this floor of this mega city or mega complex, I think is what it's called.
I still need to play that one. I really want to play that one, but I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I was on console, so I didn't have the issues that Anthony was experiencing on PC. So I definitely enjoyed that one a lot. Ninja Gaiden Rage Bound.
Oh,
that's the 2D one. That's an honorable mention. That one is really good. It is difficult, but they do have a lot of accessibility features that you can kind of tweak. So when you get hit in those type of games, you not only get hit, but you are bounced back, which will cause you to fall in a pit or something else. You can kind of turn off that bounce effect.
The bullshit bounce is what I like to call it.
That's what it is too. Yeah. So you could turn that off, which is kind of nice. So you can kind of tweak it to how you want to play and experience it. But it is, if you're a Ninja Gaiden fan, especially of the old school 2D, it's a lot of fun. Jump Space is on here. I debated whether or not to put it on here because it's in early access because it's not really out. But I know I've talked about it this year and it launched in a very sorry state. But it has come a long way, and it is a lot of fun. Especially if you are sociable or a social person and you play talking to the strangers that you get matched with. Obviously, you can go in with your own team, but if you talk to those people and work together, it's a lot of fun. So looking forward to what they're going to end up building that into because, like I said, it is early access. 2 more honorable mentions: Pokemon ZA.
That's crazy. That's the first time we've heard Pokemon mentioned.
I kind of figured I was going,
but
Yep, that's why it's not on my list proper. It is honorable
late in the year. It's an RPG. I had other stuff. It's Christmas time. It just wasn't happening.
Yeah,
and
but
I prioritized Metroid, and that's probably part of the reason why I'm salty about it too. So yeah,
you probably would have liked Pokemon more.
I probably would have. I mean, I liked the part that I played a lot more.
Still trying to figure out what I use my voucher on.
I still say it's that or Arceus.
Okay. I don't know which one to go
you
with.
Could pick Arceus? Yeah, either one of those would be good choices.
Arceus was really good, and I don't even like Pokemon.
And don't forget those vouchers die on the, was it the 30th?
No. The vouchers
But-
don't die. The ability to purchase.
That's
them
what I
lasts you
meant.
another
Getting the
year.
vouchers die on the
Yeah.
30th.
Yeah. So I still have one more part of my voucher I got to use. And
But they do
pretty much
expire
everything I want.
depending on when you bought them. They expire within a
They
year.
Yeah,
expire
but it's
within
like a year.
Yeah, so I've got a year to figure it out, but I don't know. I doubt they're going to add more to it.
I doubt it, actually. The last one is The Outer Worlds 2. And that's just because that game was, I don't know if it was later, but I started playing it later, and was other stuff. But I've thoroughly enjoyed what I've played so far. It's a lot better, a lot more improved than the original. I have laughed quite a bit at some of the jokes, even booting up the game. Every time like the little narrator person says he has a little quip for you, before you even hit continue, which is kind of funny. But yeah, so I want to get more into that. Okay, my top 10. Here we go. At number 10, we have Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Good game. Great game, even. I haven't finished it, though. So it's not too high on my list, but it is very good. And I like Drew said, I don't care about the AI stuff. I think maybe I haven't followed it. Oh, I know. But listen, my Twix handle is Lord Magnus don't care. And baby, it's cause I don't. y'all bring it to the table. I don't care. And I don't mean y'all, I mean the people on Twix. I don't care. All this stuff that niggas be debating and everything, I just be rolling my eyes like, man.
Motherfucker, people be console warring on Christmas.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, man, I got to pay this water bill. I ain't worried about what the fuck y'all got going on.
If I was their family, I wouldn't want to talk to them either. So,
there's that.
Fucking weirdos, man.
Oh, but yeah, it's a really good.
You shouldn't be allowed to post on social media on Christmas unless you're willing to read every post out loud to your family.
I mean, that should be a daily restriction.
That should be every day, yeah.
That's a good
one. Before you're allowed to tweet this, you have to read it to your family.
Yep, that's a good one. That should be an all the time thing. Twix would be it'd be a peaceful place, I think, because
it'd be like a fucking utopia. What are you talking about?
Right. So yeah, that was 10. I won't go too deep into it. We've already talked about that game. Everybody's talked about it. Number 9 is Power Wash Simulator 2.
Hell yeah.
It's a great game. I mean, I put on an audiobook and get lost in cleaning, porta potties that come up out of the ground and have, crazy attachments and stuff. It's just, I like a lot of the improvements. And I've talked about this before because I reviewed this game that they've made with this one. But I like the most that they kind of break up the gigantic cleans with like a quick little clean or like a couple of quick ones, because you'll do like a giant barn and then you might have to clean like a car or something like really little. And it's kind of nice to have that, because some of those big jobs, I got to put the controller down and save and walk away, because it's like, man, I've been spraying this for a while. But yeah, this one is good. Looking forward to the DLC. I'm sure they're gonna have a bunch of different stuff. With this one, I liked the variety that they had with the last one, because
I didn't even get to all of them. There were so fucking many.
I didn't get to all of them either. Like, I still haven't played the SpongeBob one.
I haven't played the Alice in Wonderland or the Wallace and Gromit one. Like, Jesus.
Heck, I didn't even realize there was an Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, straight up an Alice in Wonderland one. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, there is a lot of them.
Before you move on, you mentioned, you said you put on an audiobook. What audiobook are you listening to?
I actually have been going back through the Dungeon Runner Carl series.
Hell yes. I want to bring that up because that's the game I've been playing the most. I've been reading a book series called Dungeon Crawler Carl, and if anybody out there is interested in video games or comedy, you need to read that series. It's fucking awesome.
It is.
It's Dungeon Crawler
so funny.
Carl, you say?
Dungeon Crawler Carl.
This was an Audible.
Yeah, that's on Audible. That's actually where I listen to it. I think the newest book is supposed to come out this year. But it's hilarious.
It's insane. It's hilarious. It's also very dark.
It is very dark.
I can't even begin to describe the story of this series. It's insane.
The artwork looks really dumb.
And like
the whole, it is.
Yeah,
it is.
Yep. The whole thing is it's basically a RPG game that's being played. Like to sum it up real quick. So Earth has been destroyed and the aliens are forcing the remaining humans down into these dungeons down underground. This hasn't been destroyed, but you'll read it if you read it. There's stuff down, but the humans are being forced underground to play this game by aliens, and it's all like RPG based, but it's like real stuff. So humans walking around, like he runs into, it's a bit of a spoiler, but he runs into like a nursing home group because it's like all these people had to like evacuate and come down here or else they were going to die. So it's like, do you be compassionate? It's kind of like an Arc Raiders thing. Do you be compassionate or do you kill these people and steal their loot and help, level yourself up? Like I don't know. It's so good.
And the whole thing's televised
for you guys.
Yeah, and it's televised to the galaxy. Yeah.
Why is this man wearing his boxers on every single cover art with hard boxers?
I will tell
Princess Donut. Go ahead and tell him.
Okay, so Princess Donut, which is the cat, this is ex-girlfriend's cat. She jumps out of the window. He's got the window open. I think he lives in Seattle. It's in the middle of winter, and he's wanting to smoke a cigarette. He opens the window to smoke his cigarette. Princess Donut, which he is basically babysitting, jumps out of the window. He's like, shit. So he puts on a leather jacket and has his boxer shorts, and he's trying to get the cat back in. That's when the world ends and all of the buildings collapse.
Yep.
And they're like, you need to get into a dungeon before this amount of time or you'll be killed. The dungeon will close. Well, he's freezing to death because it's in the middle of winter. So he just runs into the dungeon with a leather jacket on, no shoes, and boxer shorts. And that's while there's other people who went into the dungeon with machine guns, he's there having to punch shit.
Yep.
And because he has punched everything and killed it, he has leveled up his melee attack, and he's kind of pigeonholed himself into being a punching person.
Yep.
While everybody else is using like legendary swords and guns and stuff, he's over here punching the shit out of stuff.
Oh man!
I picked up the first book.
It is fucking awesome and hilarious, and it also every once you get a lot of comedy, and then all of a sudden you get something like really fucking dark.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, reminder, the world has ended and this is bad. All of this is bad. It's so fucking really good. Apparently there's going to be a TV show about it too. So
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Seth MacFarlane is doing it.
No, okay. Yeah. That's what's up. Cause it's good. Yeah. I think you'll like it, Jay. It's definitely a good series.
Awesome. I'll let you guys know how I like the first book once I'm done with it.
Okay. Okay, so number 8 is Battlefield 6. Battlefield is great. The last one it came out real shaky. They fixed a lot of stuff in it. But this one is, back to what we love about it. There's not, the different like operators or whatever. Like you just have your basic soldier skins. They got, the basic classes. You can knock down the buildings on people. There's, the vehicle spawn on the map, except for the like jets and stuff. That stuff runs on a timer and the helicopters. But it feels really good to play. And I know, Vince Zampella had a lot to do with that because I think he was leading the team over this, rest in peace to him. But yeah, this is definitely really good. If you were a shooter fan, or you just, wrote Battlefield off because of 2142 or 24, whatever that one was called. Yeah, fuck that one. Come play Battlefield 6. It's definitely a return to greatness. Number 7, which I'm almost certain is probably on Ken's list, is South of Midnight. He had made a comment about, us not playing that at some point. I remember when we were talking, it might have been after the Keeleys or something. And I was like, man, I should go back to that, and went back into that game is fantastic. with a story that definitely has highs and lows. And what I mean is that there is, some laughs in there and stuff, but there's a lot of dark and kind of serious stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
there's some
that
fucked up shit in some of those stories.
Yeah. It's but throughout it all, Hazel is kind of that light that's there, kind of, putting it together. It's just a fantastic game. I mean, the music.
I was gonna say if you just play it just for the music, that's what you gotta do.
Yeah, it's so good. Oh my goodness. And yeah, and so like, cause it has combat in it, and then kind of like platforming traversal stuff. The nice thing with the combat, and I think Ken and I talked about this because I think he played those segments. I skipped them. You can skip the combat segments, even like the boss fights. So if you want to just kind of play it for, only the story, you can, piece out of those parts, which is nice. The combat just isn't anything special as far as the little like ones that's not a boss fight. It's just kind of like you blocked off arenas and you fight different stuff. They introduced new monsters as you go forth. So I would fight the first one of that just to kind of see what it was like, and then I kind of skipped the rest of them. But I played out all the boss fights, which are a lot of fun too. But definitely, and I think this is an Xbox thing, so yeah, it's definitely on Game Pass. But South of Midnight, you definitely should give it a play. If, like you said, if just for the music, like the soundtrack in this is just bananas. It's so good.
Yep, it's coming to PS5 and Switch, I think, this year as well. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's what's up. Because it should be experienced by others. It's really, really good.
Yeah, more people need to play that game. It's really good.
Mm-hmm. Number 6, I don't expect to see on anyone's, and that's Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza. This was really I think I reviewed this one. This was really like my first Yakuza game that I played start to finish. So I would, got to play Majima's story. I don't even know where to begin. This game's crazy because he ends up washed up on this island. I talked about it before because I've reviewed it. With memory loss, befriends a kid, ends up becoming a pirate, and like you real live a pirate. Like you out here on a boat. There's other pirate gangs. The combat is way better as far as the naval combat than like Skull and Bones and stuff. It's obviously more arcadey. So you have like machine guns on the front, you turn to the sides, and you have your different.
When you actually are getting like wood and stuff,
there it is.
Like you can come off the ship.
For it. I was waiting for it.
I was waiting for it too. I was scrolling to it too. Fucker.
When I said the words Pirate Yakuza, I was like, here it comes. I was prepared. I prepared my loins. Somebody was going to hit that button.
I want you to know that I tried to get Drew's soundbite on here because I figured out how to do it again. His soundbite is too long. The max is 5 seconds. I couldn't get it under 5 seconds.
Can we just redo it?
I mean, you'd have to get it under 5.
It's not
See,
the
I had
same.
the whole thing.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
Is that organic appeal?
Yeah, it doesn't have that organic jerk in it.
I was in the back seat on my hands.
Straight up
jorking it.
But then I ended like the soundbite, and I wish I could play it for you. At the end of it, you just go, "Ugh."
By the way, every time that fucking meme is used, I do laugh at it. I hate it, especially the one that's the straight up jerking it. And by it, I mean, and then it's just the title screen from Majonkus.
Majonkus.
Yeah, Pirate Yakuza. Great game. It's not an RPG like the Ichiban. I can't think of his is Like a Dragon, but I don't remember what Infinite Wealth was the other one.
Infinite Wealth is a sequel. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not a turn-based RPG like those. This is more of the action RPG games like the other ones. But it also dovetails, and I won't spoil anything because the story is actually really good. It's crazy as hell. Freaking what's his name? Samoa Joe is the Pirate King. You got to fight Samoa Joe, which is wild. But its ending touches on Kiryu's ending.
Oh, sorry.
Wow, I didn't. Okay,
the ending touches on.
But no, Kiryu's ending. So it goes into that stuff. And if you've played, I'm assuming that all happens in Infinite Wealth because you end up in Hawaii. In this, so you actually run into. Yeah, it does happen after Infinite Wealth. You run into them like after the events of all that. And yeah, so but it was a really good game. And I'm as I've talked about for the past couple of weeks, I'm working my way through Yakuza 0. Now and then going to go right into Kiwami 1. So looking forward to a long
So
experience.
you got some time.
You're right. Number 5 is Monster Hunter Wilds. I don't know. I think because I really like this game and I do read a lot of the complaints. I know a lot of the technical issues was on the PC side, but the only thing that I can maybe attribute to the fact that I like it much more than the hardcore fans is that I'm new to the series. Rise was the one that I really got into, and the expansion. So for me, there was a lot of, all I saw was a lot of pluses. I mean, the loss of the wire bug for me was a benefit because I did love the movement in Rise, but I didn't like having to ride around for buffs before every fight, and doing all that stuff. So in that regard, I thought Wilds was more improved. I know, and a lot of people or a lot of the hardcore fans thinks that it's easier. Which I can't speak to because I didn't play the other ones. But I mean, it kind of, I don't know, just kind of felt on par to the last one for me. But that's just to me. But I don't have anywhere near as much time as Jay has. I'm like, I saw he was on last night too. Me and my boys were hunting Gog on my balls and
Gog on my balls?
What's sick?
Gaga. Oh, that's what I'm sorry. That's what I call it. Gog Mazios. I just call him Gog on my balls.
Gog on my balls.
Yeah, I just call him Gog on my balls. Because, listen, man, I have been slapped by his oily tail so many times. Fuck that Elder Dragon, all right? Like, I've killed him. Like, I feel like I fought that thing 30 times. I swear to God, I've only killed him 5. And my boy's like, yeah, I just killed him last night with some
you know what
like,
the crazy part about all this shit is if you'd told me that was his real name, I'd have believed you.
You know what's wild though? Because the dudes I play with be correcting me all the time, and I'm like, nigga, every monster in here has a fucking crazy name. You got a fox that's called Mitsuhune or something like that. You got a dragon that's called, what is that rock dragon called? They got crazy names. Like, how you gonna get mad? Anyway,
people take that shit seriously. They get mad when you
Goggle
mispronounce.
Majongus.
Hey, there's a monster in the game called Seragios. Everyone just calls him Steve. So the game has a lot of
oh yeah.
names. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, Steve. Like I have names for all of the monsters, and they'd be like, "What are you talking about fighting?" And I gotta look it up because I don't know what it's called.
Did you beat Savage Omega in the event quest yet, Darren?
Nope, I haven't beat Savage. I beat the regular version. I actually haven't even tried Savage yet.
Savage is punishing. It's probably the hardest fight in the game, but man, it is cool.
Yeah, that's what they were saying because the ones I play with, they've beaten it because he has the armor set and stuff from the Savage one. I really just wanted to fight Omega because I wanted the Chocobo skin for my secret.
Really nice.
But I like how that fight is basically a Final Fantasy 14 raid, which is nice. Yeah. That was pretty cool. But yeah, I enjoy Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm like 143 is my hunter rank. And I think I have like 5 days of time played, so I don't have the time that that Jay is. He's sure almost 800.
Oh, no,
like I saw your
make
rank.
Time for Monster Hunter Wilds. You see,
I guess
one of my favorite games. I'm HR like 752 or something like that.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, he's up
a good
there.
game. I like it.
Yeah. Well, like is probably you love it at that number. But no, I definitely enjoyed what I've played and looking forward to going back to it. It's just it's got a satisfying loop. Number 4 for me is The Altars. Great game. It's going to, I think, as he was saying, as Drew was saying, I think it's going to it may turn off some of y'all because of the like survival aspect and stuff, but the story is so good.
Really good.
And once you realize that there's one guy that did the acting, and it's crazy that he didn't wear nothing, that is doing the acting for all of those altars, and they all sound so distinct. He does such a good guy. His name is Jan something, I think. Might not be his real name. I can't remember. That's the character's name in the game. I know I saw him on Facebook and gave him, or not Facebook, on Twix and gave him his props because it's so good. You have one early on mine, because it could be that everybody's playthrough is kind of different because it depends on which altar you kind of wake up in what order. But like one of mine had a pain pill addiction, and you can either kind of guide them to stop it, or you can be like, okay, well, look, you just go ahead and do what you got to do. I know you had these issues or whatever, you got this, injury, just watch it, and then something else might happen where he fucked up some other machine or something because he was high. And then I kept trying to be nice to him because there's a whole backstory, all of these altars, because their life is so much different from yours. Like it's a whole different chain of events that, has shaped them.
The actor is Alex Jordan, by the way.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
He was the he was Rook in Dragon Age.
Oh wow, he was really good in Dragon Age.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so best known for his video game acting roles as one of two male voices for the customizable player character called Rook. Mr. Hands, terrible name. In Cyberpunk 2077. No. Yeah. Phantom Liberty. The sex noises in Baldur's Gate 3, and is all 11 versions of Jan Dolsky in The Altars. Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah, he needed an award. He did a great, because they are all so different and sound so, because some of them are super panicky, and then others are more outgoing, and some of them are I don't know, it's such a good game.
He had a busy year last year. He was also Dom in Eternal Strands and the Ice King in Split Fiction. And he's been Sherlock Holmes 3 times in the Frogwares games. Devil's Daughter Chapter 1 and The Awakened.
Oh, yeah, I didn't play any of those. I didn't know. Okay. Huh. Yeah, he did his thing. The Altars is a good guy. I think it's still on Game Pass if anybody is interested. That is definitely worth a look. It's a fantastic story.
I remember one of the altars was really good because he thought when you wake him up, he thinks that he's the original copy and not you. And you can continue on with that facade saying, yeah, you're the original and I'm the copy. And if he finds out, he gets really mad and doesn't want to work anymore.
I never did that. See, everybody's stuff is different. I never actually went down that path with any of them. That's interesting. Can you bring him back? Like, can you calm him down, or is he just on strike for X amount of days or something like that?
I can't remember.
Got you. Yeah,
I got big into that game for a week, and I wanted to continue on, but I didn't have the time.
I understand. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, it's definitely good. I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, it made my top 5. Okay. Number 3, Arc Raiders.
It has AI.
I have been waiting for Arc Raiders. It does, yeah. And again, I don't care. So I have been waiting for it for a while, and I would honestly, I would have preferred if they stuck to their original approach where it was just PvE, without the addition of the kind of extraction elements and other people that you have to fight up against. But even with that being in there, the game is so much fun. And you have different experiences kind of based on how many people you bring in. So if you play solo, 9 times out of 10, you won't have to worry about fighting any people. And in fact, people will just be giving you stuff. Everybody is so nice. If you go down, rather than them just coming up and finishing you, which they could, most people drop in with a defibrillator, which is how you can revive someone. Unless you're on their team, you don't need a defibrillator. But they'll come pick you up. I have a friend that plays it, and this dude plays it like a medic, and I make fun of him all the time. I'm like, bro, because I don't listen. To tell y'all how I play this game. Because if you come across me on here, I'm gonna shoot your ass. I don't trust nobody. Okay.
You should probably shoot them somewhere else because they probably survive an ass shot.
This is what happens when I'm just there. Turn back the power on this little area. I'm getting jumped. Nobody's gonna have power. I'm just gonna go home.
Yeah, listen. I have been, and that's kind of the thing too. I guess it's that risk versus reward type thing, right? So you know, somebody says, "Hey, Raider, how you doing?" No, I'm friendly. Don't worry about it. I won't shoot you. And then you turn your back and then took all your stuff. That's happened to me so many times. No, I don't trust nobody. Okay, so if I see somebody, I'm aiming at you. What's up, man? You cool? What you doing? I already got the gun out. What you need? What? You need some wires? Here goes the wires. Get the fuck out of here, man. Gone. And then they leave. Or I draw the gun and they start shooting, and then one of us ends up dead. That's just how that ends up going. But you don't have to play it like that. You don't have to be like me. You can be nice, like my friend, and you could just go in there in solos, and everybody is taking down machines together and stuff like that. But then if you play in duos, you kind of get a mix of the two. You'll have players that are more like me, who doesn't trust anybody, and then you'll have ones that are super nice and stuff. But if you're in trios, you might as well prepare for war. It's on sight. As soon as the team see you, you're fighting. And then once other teams hear that shooting, then they show up, and now you're fighting 4 other teams, and it just gets crazy. And then the machine hears all the bullets, and the leaper comes jumping in, and you're like, oh my God, how are we going to get out of this? And somehow you survive, and you extract with some good loot.
How many people can be in an instance?
Huh?
How many people can be in an instance together?
You know what? I don't know, because it doesn't ever tell you, and I've never actually looked that up. So the only time it'll tell, like when you get killed or when you extract, it kind of like documents on the map like where you've gone and done certain stuff. So like you looted here, like you shot at someone here, or whatever. It'll tell you what raiders were around in those areas. But I've never actually seen one. Like when you exit a match, it doesn't like give you a listing, like other games of how many people were there and what happened. That's a good question though. I never actually, I'm not sure.
I'm curious about that. I like the idea of Arc Raiders.
21.
21?
Up to 21 or even 30 in the max capacity.
That makes sense in instances of 3.
Yeah. Yep. And then it will, like, sometimes you may get dropped into like the middle of a match. So like each round, if you go in from the top, is 30 minutes, and then like you'll see the clock ticking down. But you may get dropped in sometimes like at the 15-minute mark, or whatever. And at that point, then you have to be like, well, I got to change my plan, because I'm sure that place that I was going to loot has already been checked, because all the loot is randomized. You have a chance at finding like the blueprints and stuff like that. But yeah, blueprint.
Used to build a house.
Yeah. The sense of and I done lost the word now, but not dread. That's not the word. The tense. It's a very tense experience in this game because of, and even if they didn't have the other people, it would still be like that, because you could die from just the smallest machine really easily. And then some guns are better at they have that penetration, the armor penetration, so they're better for the machines. And so if you only have the weak ones, chances are you may not die you may die if you don't find that weak spot and stuff. So there's a lot that goes into the game, but there's also tools that help you where you could be stealthy. Like there's like a cloak, kind of like the Predator, that hides you from machines. Again, you have to find the blueprint to kind of build it on demand, but there's different quests that you can do that will give you that. Because the game has quests as well, which is also a thing. So while you're trying to finish a quest, some dickhead might roll up because you got to extract with an item, and now he done killed you, and now you got to do the quest all over again. So that's, that stuff happens. But even when it does, I still have had a good time. Like, I don't know, Arc Raiders has been a really good game, or a really good experience. Even with, when I'm getting killed trying to do something or whatever, I just am like, well, damn it. Well, that happened. And I go back in. Like I don't, get super tilted on it or whatever. So, but it's, they're I think it's like $30, $40, and I think they sold 1 million copies. So good for them. And I hope they continue to add some stuff. They had a winter event, so they're doing like the seasonal and stuff. So that's cool. Yeah. My number 2, which I haven't actually finished yet, but so I will go into it because I'm certain it's on someone else's list, and that's Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. This game is incredible. I mean, I wasn't even going to get it, and I've talked about it before because of the smart ass comments that the director made when it came out. Because I was just like, man, fuck you and your game. And then I saw some stuff on it, and I was like, okay, maybe not fuck your game, maybe just fuck you. So I played the game, and it was great. So much stuff that you can do. The blacksmithing alone is great, and I'm finally in Gutenberg. I need to get back in there. I actually have it installed. I need to go back in there and start my blacksmithing shop because I love the blacksmithing in this game.
Sorry, where were you?
Excuse me?
Where did you say you were?
Is it Gutenberg?
Not Steve
Gutenberg. I loved him. I was gonna say I loved him in the Police Academy.
Yeah, no, that's Steve Gutenberg. No. I wonder where that guy is. Probably at a wine and cheese party right now. But no, it's a fantastic game, and we talk about it all the time, and I won't, like I said, I'm not going to wax too poetic about it because I'm almost certain that somebody else will. But my number 1, which I think is going to be on, I know it'll be on somebody else's list. I don't think it'll be on any of y'all's, is Split Fiction. When I tell you that Split Fiction is just a fantastic game from start to finish. It's a fantastic game from start to finish. And its story is very timely. What's going on right now? It involves some AI stuff.
Some thievery.
Yeah, thievery. God, I don't even know. The mini games. There's just so much to this game that's so good. Like one of the girls is a sci-fi writer and the other is a fantasy writer. And so it's just like, I think I've talked about it before because I reviewed it. It's just like It Takes Two. So you have to play it co-op. It's split screen. And each story you go into, you transform and have different abilities. So you go into one, and we were animals, I think. Was that the first one?
Are you talking about, the pig one, and then there's also the one where one person's the monkey and the other person's a fish?
That's the one I was thinking of. The pig one was a side story, wasn't it?
The pig one was a side story, but it's also the one where one of the players gets a fart power as a jetpack.
Okay. That's right. I think you had that. I don't think I had that.
Damn right I did.
But yeah, so the side stories are literally just side quests that, are in addition to. And I think we tracked them all down.
We missed one.
Okay. All of them were so much fun. Like we were like cracking up. Even when we died, when one of us missed a jump or something stupid, we still were having
what about the sequence where you're doing the chase and the other player has to solve the CAPTCHA on the phone?
Oh yeah. So I think that one was a struggle. But yeah, that was a good time. Like, and the one at the end where we was finally like, fuck it, just go make the jumps because you got to like work together.
Oh, the centipede jumps,
like holding each other. Yeah, the centipede jump. Just fuck it, just go. As soon as you got the jump, just go. And somehow that worked out because we were trying to be super like meticulous with it. That game was just so much fun. It was so much fun, and the story was so good too. The voice acting was great. I'm playing It Takes Two right now, or through it, not currently, but I'm playing through it right now, and so much stuff, that they took from making that game, they put into Split Fiction and polished it. And you can see it, because I hadn't played It Takes Two before I finished Split Fiction, but it's I like to see that growth, in those studios, especially a smaller studio like this, which they may end up getting a lot bigger. And I know we've talked about it. I'd love to see them do something that's not co-op. I don't think they ever will, though.
No, I think that's their thing.
Yeah. But yeah, Split Fiction is a fantastic game. And, if you have, one person that purchased it, you get a friend pass. So, if you have a buddy, you want to play it with, they don't have to buy it, that you can.
It's a cross-play friend pass too.
It is. I forgot you definitely. Yep, it is cross-play, so you can have one on Xbox, one on PC, or whatever. Like I said, Anthony, if you want to play it, bro, I'll play it too. I'll play it with you. I think Ken said he'll play it with you too.
Oh god, that game
It's
was. Oh man, I love
really
that
good.
game.
At some point,
it is really
at some
good.
point, we'll have to set that up.
But yeah, that's my list. That's my top 10.
All right, we're down to 2. You got a couple, but I still have some.
Nice. Okay.
So Wombat, you want to go or do you want me to go?
I'm ready.
All right.
All right. So my disappointments are going to be it's going to be a group of games, and it's going to be all the sports games that came out this year. I just feel like all of them had things
all
that
100 of
disappointed.
them, Ryan.
Yeah, well, all the ones I played. Let me put it that way. So
Jake from
even
State Farm is very sad.
yeah,
All right,
he is.
you didn't like his performance in all the 2K games.
Yeah, he is. PGA even, which I liked, was very thin. NBA 2K had the same problems it always has, and the story was really just thin and kind of, I don't know, lazy, I guess is the best way I'll put it. And even MLB The Show, which, I mean, I put 40 hours a year in, no matter what. Just kind of disappointing this year. I think they need to start to do something a little bit different with Road to the Show. I do like the fact that they changed the attribute system this year for people who played it for a long time. It used to be you would earn tokens that you would cash in to update or upgrade your attributes. And then they changed that to like a Bethesda level up system where you only leveled stuff up by doing it, which has obvious negative implications in a sports game, especially a sports game where you start as a pretty low rated minor league player, because you're just not very good at things. So, and now they've kind of changed it to what I'll say is a hybrid system, where you earn attribute points based on what you do, or you earn tokens that you can spend on attribute points based on what you do. It's similar to the old system, but it has some aspects of the newer one in it as well. But even still, I just felt like the game was, it still has too many instances where you make solid contact with a ball and you hit it straight at a fielder. It still has too many instances where outfielders make plays that they really shouldn't make that rob you of hits. They added in some showtime events for fielding, but it's literally the exact same thing every time. So it starts to wear thin pretty quick. So I was disappointed in all the sports games this year. In terms of
Hold on. What about that
yeah.
bowling game?
I was about to ask.
Well, so I only played the demo of that.
Okay.
No.
But does the demo escape your ire?
It does, yes.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure we were not including something necessarily, that's all.
Yes, that is true. Okay, so honorable mentions. This one's kind of cheating, but Anthony had No Man's Sky on his list, so I don't feel bad about it. F-Zero 99 is in my honorable mentions, even though it's been out a couple years, just because they did a whole lot of events and additional content this year, and that game is fantastic. And I hope they continue to support it for a very long time. And once they're done supporting it, I hope they put out an offline version of it. Also on honorable mentions, Ball X Pit, which I won't talk a whole bunch about here because everybody else has talked about it already. Another honorable mention that I'm surprised didn't make its way onto anybody's honorable mentions list is Marvel Cosmic Invasion. It's a really fun beat 'em up. I don't think it's as good as Shredder's Revenge, but it's a very fun beat 'em up with some cool Marvel powers. It wasn't good enough to make its way on my full list, but I at least wanted to make sure it got shouted out a little bit because I did enjoy my time with it.
Yeah, it's a good game, but I agree it's not as good as Shredder's Revenge. It feels like they took a step back, which is weird.
Agreed. Yep. Continuing on honorable mentions, Monster Hunter Wilds is on my honorable mentions list just because, like I said, I didn't get to play it nearly as much as I wanted to last year. So I do plan on going back to that at some point this year. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, which I really, really enjoyed. Just not quite as much as I enjoyed the other 10 games. Basuiro's Invasion, which was a relatively recent play for me, but a really good side-scrolling platformer. He is coming. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about that one because we've talked about it on the podcast over the last couple of weeks. But another really inventive roguelike. And then another one that I'm surprised, I guess not super surprised it didn't make it onto anybody's lists at all, but an honorable mention for me at least is Elden Ring Night Rain.
I don't think anybody played it except for Jay, right?
Elden Ring Night Rain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I did not play this game at all.
Okay, so literally, Brian, you're the only person who played it.
Oh, yeah. Great. It is a really fun sort of version of Elden Ring. I did not get to play it, or I did not play it nearly as much as my son played it. He and his friends played a lot of it, but I did really enjoy my time with it. So those were my honorable mentions. Start the list at 10, and unless I just wasn't listening close enough, I didn't hear this on anybody's list either, which is really surprising to me. Number 10 was Assassin's Creed Shadows.
No, nobody's mentioned it yet.
Oh my God, that was this year.
Yes, it was.
Yep, it was. So, it is, I think, it was a good stealth game. I think as soon as you were out of stealth, the whole thing just completely fell apart. I did not enjoy the regular combat in that game.
So I can tell you why it didn't make my list, because I did think about putting it there, and I also thought about putting Tetris Grandmaster 4 on there. Tetris didn't make it because it's I didn't play enough of that version just specifically. I could have just said Tetris then. That's not really fair. And with the Assassin's Creed, I liked it when I was playing as one character, but the switching back and forth sucked.
I agree with you 100%.
And it doesn't matter which character I was playing as. I'm just like, oh, wow, I really wish I could just stay as this character at this point.
So I agree with you 100%, and I'll make that point a little more forcefully later when I talk about a different game.
I know what game you're talking about, and that's all I could think about was the first game in that series.
Yeah.
And going, this character could do both of these.
Right. And I did not enjoy my time playing as Yasuke in Assassin's Creed Shadows. And I did feel like some of the pieces of it were a little underdeveloped, and I did think there was too many circles. But it was a really enjoyable game. It just was not as enjoyable for me as some of the games higher up on the list. But I did spend, 70 hours or something like that in the game, and enjoyed my time with it for sure. So number 9 was Avowed.
I was waiting for that to actually hit somebody's list. I figured it would be on your disappointment list.
Well, so here's the thing. Is there are parts of that game I'm very disappointed in. And I know that the meme is that I hate Obsidian, which is not true. I just don't, I don't carry water for them like some folks do. I, on the whole, enjoyed my time with that game, especially once I switched to using pistols. I liked the game way better. And there were some things in that game that were really good. On the whole, it's a very good game. It's just a game that they, A, clearly ran out of time on because there are just some things that are completely unfinished. And B, I don't think really lives up to what it could or should have lived up to. But that being said, I did enjoy my time with it. And it was on Game Pass, right? So it was a low risk, high reward game for me to play. Number 8 was Mario Kart World. I enjoyed it. I think probably more than anybody else on the show. I know it's not Mario Kart 8, right? It doesn't have all the tracks. It doesn't have all the other stuff that Mario Kart 8 has. But it's also fair, I think, to remember that Mario Kart 8 is actually 11 years old. Um, and yes, I know Deluxe was re-released for the Switch, but Mario Kart 8 is 11 years old. So over time, I'm pretty confident that they're going to add more content to this game. So we'll see what they end up adding. I enjoy the open world aspect of it. I like the single player pieces of it as well. So it made its way onto my list because of that. Number 7 was Megabonk. So Megabonk I really liked because it was a unique twist on the Survivor sort of genre to put it in 3D and to all of the sort of associated side effects of putting a game like that in 3D. I just really enjoyed it as a concept. I also really enjoyed sort of the sense of humor of the game and sort of the ironic meme culture sense of humor that it has. But outside of that, it's a game that is very fun to me to play and is always pulling me back in for another run. So really, really great game. Number 6 is Dynasty Warriors Origins. So this was a late edition and a hard charging edition because I put a lot of time into that in a very short period of time. And I know Terrence already talked about it. I talked about it myself last week. It's the best Dynasty Warriors game they've came out with in a very long time, and is a lot of fun. Has a really great setup, and is the most fun Dynasty Warriors to play in a very long time as well. And I love the additions of sort of the emphasis on single combat against officers and the different mechanics they've given you for that. So again, I spent a lot of time talking about it last week, so I'm not going to spend as much time talking about it now. But very good game. And
I'm just wondering, have you run into Lu Bu yet?
I have not. No, I have not. I'm in Act 2, but I have not. I have not come across him
close.
yet.
Okay, yeah, you're close.
Okay.
It's in Act 2 that you'll see. It's good times.
Yeah, I played against him in the demo and got destroyed. So I'm anxious to see what he's like in the full game.
His intro, like in the full game, is live. It's pretty dope. You'll
awesome.
see. It's pretty
Act
dope.
2, Electric Lubu.
That's right. Number 5, another game that nobody else had on their list, but I'm going to recommend that almost everybody play. Ken, maybe not you, although you may like it. And that's Kingdoms of the Dump. So Kingdoms of the Dump it's basically a Super NES style JRPG style game made by 2 janitors, and it's very punny. All of the characters, it takes place in a sort of a garbage dump kingdom, and there are kingdoms for old rubber tires. There's a kingdom of insects. There's a kingdom or there's towns of like plastic waste, right? So all the characters are sort of either garbage or the kind of things you would find in a dump themed. But it's got a really cool story to it. It's got a neat turn-based gameplay mechanic. It reminds me a little bit of Mario RPG or Paper Mario, where you have, timed button presses to do additional damage or to defend yourself against attacks. Takes place on a grid. Being forward on the grid does more damage. Being towards the back of the grid helps your defense. And it's just got a cool story. Now, can you tell that it's their first game? Absolutely. It's got seams all over the place. But on the whole, I think it's a really cool and really ambitious game for what it's trying to do. So definitely recommend it for anybody that likes any of the JRPGs on Super Nintendo, because you'll.
Nice.
Just to shout it out, Look Outside and Kingdoms of the Dump are bundled on Steam. You save 10%
Yeah, I just saw
to
that.
get both of them.
Yeah, when I was
Interesting.
adding the wish list. It's nice.
Yeah, it's a very good game, and it's got a fun sort of. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and it sort of recognizes that it's just kind of a punny running joke. But it's really fun and has some genuinely charming moments in it. Number 4 is Donkey Kong Bonanza. Not really much for me to say about that hasn't already been said. It's a tremendous game and an excellent successor to the legacy of 3D platformers on Nintendo systems. So if you haven't played it and you have a Switch 2, I don't know why you wouldn't have already gone out and bought it.
I was gonna say, why do you have a Switch 2 at that point?
Right. Yeah. Number 3 was Ghost of Yotei. And so
finally, it's mentioned. I've been sitting here staring at that game. I'm like, someone's gonna mention it. It's just, it better be on fucking Ryan's list, and it's been confirmed.
Yeah. So for me, Ghost of Yotei was, and they definitely had a lot of similarities, but for me, Ghost of Yotei was way better than Assassin's Creed Shadows in basically everything. The only thing that you could probably, in my opinion, at least give to Assassin's Creed Shadows was the stealth. Because Ghost of Yotei, similar to Ghost of Tsushima, the stealth's there, and it's serviceable, but it certainly not as deep as stealth in Assassin's Creed. But other than that, the story, the characters, the voice acting, the environments, the art style, the combat, all of it for me went to Ghost of Yotei. I think it's a very worthy successor to the last game. I don't think it's as good as Ghost of Tsushima, and I think Ghost of Tsushima, on the whole, has a better narrative to it. I like Jin better as a main character than Atsu, although I did like Atsu's character. I enjoyed Jin better as the main character. I think the villains in Ghost of Yotei are way better. And I think the overall story is very close. They're different, different and similar, in some ways. I think the I guess the best way for me to put it is that it feels like a good continuation of the themes of Ghost of Tsushima without feeling so similar that you're like, I don't even know why they made this. They're just treading the same ground, right? So, really love that game, and it found its way at number 3. Probably would have been higher some years, but not with the other 2 games that are on my list this year.
I've been waiting since I didn't get to play Ghost of Yotei on launch like I planned originally because I was playing other things at the time. So I was like, you know what? It's been a couple of months. I'll wait until the game goes on like a sale or something like that, maybe like 20% off. But it hasn't really actually been on sale on the digital front at least, and that's why I haven't played it this year. But I wanted to play it earlier, but we'll see. Hopefully, it gets a decent discount in the next big Sony sale, and then I'll be able to pick it up. But you're saying it's about as good as Ghost of Tsushima in terms of like the narrative and stuff like that, right? That gets me excited because
I think so.
Tsushima's
Yeah, it's
excellent.
different. Yeah, it's different, and it's not as it doesn't have the same sort of appeal necessarily of Tsushima because it's not new and exciting like Tsushima was. But I do think for me at least, it's if Tsushima was a 10, this game's probably a 9 in my opinion.
Gotcha. All
right. Number 2 on the list was the Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake. And mainly it's in this spot because of the remake of Dragon Quest II. As I've said on the podcast, they took Dragon Quest II from my least favorite game in the series to this remake being one of the best. That just the stuff that they added, the characterization that they added for the now four main characters instead of three, um, and the updating that game in some ways to match some of the other recent Dragon Quests. It's just a tremendous, tremendous job on that Dragon Quest II remake. The Dragon Quest One remake is very good as well. Dragon Quest One, it's just thin. The game itself, when it came out, was thin. But so there's less. They did add a lot to the remake, but it isn't nearly the sort of transformative experience that the remake of the second game is.
Would you say, Ryan, given the circumstances, like because Dragon Quest III had its own game as an HD remake, right, as a one
Yep.
singular game, and this one
Yep.
being 1 and 2, it made sense because 1 is so thin compared to 3?
Yes, 100%. They made the right decision bundling these two together, and similarly, when they remade the games for the Game Boy, they also bundled 1 and 2 together. Yeah, it's definitely the right call. Both because there are some logistical reasons why it makes sense for them to be bundled together that I don't necessarily want to go into because some people might consider them spoiler light. I guess it's not really. The world of Dragon Quest One is a small part of the world in Dragon Quest Two. So Dragon Quest Two is really just an expansion of the world map around the area that Dragon Quest One takes place. So there are some places in Dragon Quest Two you will go back to that were in Dragon Quest One. So it sort of makes a little more narrative sense and probably technical sense for them to have been bundled together. But also, yeah, Dragon Quest One released on its own, probably. I mean, it's the remake. I think was 13 hours, 14 hours. It starts to stretch a little bit. I think what you would want to release as a standalone. But when you get 40, 50 hours out of the two combined, it makes a lot more sense.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, I know I already talked a lot about that game when it came out, so I won't go into too much more here, other than to say that if you like the Dragon Quest games at all, these HD 2D remakes have been, I mean, really fantastic. And in the case of Dragon Quest III, it took what was already my favorite Dragon Quest game and basically made the definitive version of it. And in this case, I really can't say enough times how transformative this remake is for Dragon Quest II. Because if you've played the original Dragon Quest II, it is not very good. It's very limited compared to 3 in terms of it was a revelation at the time because you had multiple characters in your party and that kind of stuff. But they perfected that in Dragon Quest III as far as the NES games go. So Dragon Quest II, going back to it now, feels pretty thin, especially in the character development department, because these are not customizable party members. They are characters that, in the original game at least, had fixed skills. In this game, they used that, the fact that these were set characters and not created characters. They use that opportunity to give them all personalities, and it makes a world of difference as you sort of venture through the world with these characters for 30 or 40 hours. The characterizations they gave them are really tremendous. So definitely a tremendous game, and probably would have been my game of the year. Maybe not, because I tend to avoid doing remakes as a game of the year. But this year, one game really dominated all the rest of them for me. This is one of the easier years that we've been doing this for me to pick a number one. and my number one was Call of Duty Black Ops 7. No, I'm just kidding.
The loading screens.
Yeah,
I knew it. I knew it's what it was.
yeah. No, so Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was my game of the year. Actually, I played both Kingdom Come Deliverance games this year. I started the first game in May, and put about 70 hours in that, and then started this game in July or August and put 140, 150 hours in it since. Just an amazing game. And again, we've beat it to death over the last year, as Anthony already said. We won't shut up about it between Terrence and I. But it.
Hey, you know what? I gotta give you credit. I knew what it was because I've not heard a negative thing about this fucking game.
No, it's. You
know what I mean? Like, I've never heard someone speak so positively about the game where I just go, maybe I'm wrong.
It is a game, and the first one's like this too. The first one's probably more
list,
like this.
So I would hope it's a game.
Yeah. But it's easy for the first several hours of this game to turn you off. And I will freely admit that it's easy for the first several hours of this game to turn you off. So in the first game, it does a really great job of making it clear to you that you are not some, powerful knight. You're not some chosen hero who's been, tapped to save the world, right? You are just a blacksmith's kid, and a whole bunch of shit goes down around you, and you barely know how to hold a sword, and that's made very clear in the intro, let alone kill invading soldiers, right? And so the first probably 5 to 6 hours of the game, you feel way underpowered compared to everybody around you, which I think lends a lot to the narrative, and the fact that it's a very focused, grounded narrative. There's not dragons, and there's not sorcerers and magic and all that stuff. It takes place in 14th century Bohemia, modern day Czech Republic, and the king that you like gets sort of deposed, and the new king is bringing some soldiers in from Hungary to conquer your area. And you just got to kind of survive in that, and ultimately help some folks out in it. So I was very curious in the second game how they were going to manage to recapture that feeling, because by the end of the first game, Henry is competent. So I was very curious how they were going to manage to recapture that in the second game, and they do a tremendous job of it. It is since probably Skyrim, the game that is the most easy to just kind of get lost in, and the game that has a game world that feels lived in, where you can I can literally just log in and make some swords for people, and maybe go on a couple little adventures to take back some stuff that's been stolen from people, and feel completely satisfied. The small sort of day-to-day stuff is just as appealing as the big stuff. And the side quests are pretty much universally well written. The voice acting is great. The characters are great. It's all around just a really fantastic game. And I can't say enough positives about it. I am sad that all the DLC is now done. And they have not been committal about coming back to this right away. They've got a couple other ideas that it sounds like Warhorse would like to work on, including sort of a Viking Age RPG. Um, but I really hope that we get the next continuation of this sooner than 7 years from now, because it's just a really awesome story. And I hope this isn't the last we see of these characters for a long time.
It does seem like the second game came out pretty quickly after the first one. It was like a year or two apart, right?
No,
Like
no,
2
no,
years apart?
no. The first game came out in 2018, and
Oh,
this one came
really?
out this year. Yeah, so it's 7 years.
Wow. I thought it came out like 2 years after the first game came out for some reason. I must be
No,
thinking about a
it's been
different
a
DLC.
series.
There was a long tail
Oh,
on
that's
Kingdom Come
probably
yeah.
why. Yeah,
too, because
maybe.
there was quite a bit of DLC,
Hmm.
which I know
There
because Ryan talked about it.
there was, yep. And I played both this year. I played the original back in 2018 when it came out, but I never finished it. And so I finished both this year, but there was a pretty big gap between the two games. So my hope is that now you've got this next gen system built and ready to go. My hope is they can come up with some additional content and we get another one within 3 or 4 years instead of 7.
Nice.
Um, but yeah, that's my list.
All right. Well, I guess I'll round it out. There's still a couple games nobody's talked about, which is crazy.
If I feel like I could guess them with my list.
You
that I've
may
been
be,
filling out.
but I don't know. So I'll start with the disappointments. Mario Kart World. I did not care for this game, and it's mostly because of what makes Mario Kart 8 so good: the tracks. The tracks in Mario Kart World are boring. They're not interesting. They're not exciting. Um, the open world is somewhat neat, but I feel like it suffers from a lot of open world problems where it's too big for its own good, where there's a lot of empty space of things not that there's nothing to do. And I don't know, I just did not enjoy this game that much. Um,
Same.
my second disappointment is Doom: The Dark Ages, which is another game nobody's mentioned, but probably for a good reason. I feel like since 2016 they continue to take steps backwards. Like 2016 was damn near perfection. Eternal tried to throw too much at the player, and it ended up not being fun in a lot of situations. And Doom: The Dark Ages, I'm just going to say it's kind of fucking boring. Like, every time I play it, I struggle to finish a level. And that's not Doom. Like, Doom's supposed to be exciting, and The Dark Ages is just not.
I finished that game myself and thought about putting it on my honorable mentions, but it definitely didn't have like a lasting impact, right? Like the moment to moment, I wasn't as bored as Ken was. I thought it was fine. The way that the Slayer controls, he's like a mobile fortress. The way he controls, kind of like mobile fortress on skates kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's much slower than the other game, which I don't mind too much because I think Eternal might have been too fast. But at the same time, there was kind of this gameplay loop of you want to use certain weapons against certain types of enemies, then you want to do this, you want to combo this skill with this, and blah blah blah, and it just kind of becomes a little formulaic. And I didn't like the element of the dragon flight. Like to levels, I didn't think
Yeah.
that that really added too much variety. The same thing with the giant titan fights either. I understand they want to add gameplay variety, but I didn't find those segments to be all that exciting or interesting. Although I did kind of enjoy.
I found the minute-to-minute gameplay really boring because it was like the same arena every time. It's like, oh, you got one of these dudes on the back of the monster. You've got the fat dudes with the mancubuses with the guns, and then you've got an enemy. And then the boss fights are always like, well, break the shield and then kill him. Like it was just repeating over and over and over again. I was like Doom 2016 was just so variety packed with its enemy encounters, and this one just was like, okay, well, I'll shield bash to get this, I'll throw this at that, I'll finish off this enemy, and it just, ugh. And the weapons weren't even that interesting.
Timing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I see where you go. At least you could upgrade the weapons to do different things if you wanted to. You could like go into different like two different trees for different types of functionalities, which I thought was kind of neat for for your playstyle. But I would say the timing for the parries and stuff like that, which are so powerful in this game, even on the harder difficulty, is so lax that it didn't feel rewarding to do. So it just kind of felt like it was just being handed out too easily.
I feel like that's probably in changed. Now I didn't play it, but like because of the stupid Marauders in Eternal, where I felt like the where you had to parry them, and the timing was so strict in comparison that like I would end up just stuck in a battle way too long with these fucking things. And then they had you fighting two at once. And I'm like, great, this is not fun. And this is definitely not what I come to Doom for. You know, I had issues with Wolf, and the reason why I bring up Wolfenstein is because obviously it's the other shooter that was going on around the same time, in terms of like the new series. And Wolfenstein 2 had a lot of departures. It was a lot more difficult than New Order. But it still felt like I was playing the same game, and I don't know why Doom 2016 wasn't like there wasn't a follow-up to Doom 2016. They've made each of these games feel different, and it's like, why?
Yeah, 2016 kind of nailed it.
There's a reason why I come to this type of game, and it's not to have this super complex, dance of combat. It's that I want to shoot things in the face while metal music is playing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's very odd to be like, yeah, you know what Doom needs? Not that at all.
You know what else Doom needs? Long ass cutscenes about characters that you've never seen
that was the other
before.
Thing too. Doom 2016 literally made fun of that, and then they've just been like, yeah, but the lore of Doom is so important.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the lore that I would get like one screen and that screen would melt, and then I'd be shooting people in the face in the original. Yeah, that lore isn't important.
Yeah, there's no reason for lore in Doom, and I mean,
the only
I'm
one
not
that
against
has lore is Doom 3.
Well, I'm not against lore in games that don't normally have them. Like some people have done it well, but this just was not it. It was like
Doom did it well. I got everything I needed out of Doom. I understood what was happening. They had like logs you could read or listen to or whatever. But at the same time, Doom guy, whatever, Doom Slayer, didn't want to hear it. Literally the first thing that comes up is like Samuel Hayden trying to talk to you, and he just takes the monitor, rips it off, and throws it at the wall.
They make him an entirely different character in Doom the Dark Ages.
They did that in Internal as well. There was one sequence where I went, oh man, we're back at it. And then it was like, yeah, no, that's not happening. It was when he shot himself out of the cannon. Because Hayden's like, do not shoot yourself out of the cannon. And immediately you're loading yourself into the cannon. I'm like, that's the type of stupid humor that I liked in the first game, where it's just like, yeah, it's kind of humorous because he's not listening. And he doesn't have to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, honorable mentions. I want to give like a broad shout out to all the retro collections and remakes and remasters and stuff that came out this year. From bringing back Gex and Bubsy and fucking, Bases Loaded, Tomb Raider, Glover. Like so many old games got to come back, and it was fun to revisit them.
You gotta love the glove,
dude. I can't believe we're getting a Toshinden collection in 2026. It really is a weird fucking time. As far as singular games, my honorable mentions go to Outer Worlds 2, which I know Terrence talked about. That game really took the first one and said, okay, here's the game we really wanted to make. It's really, really good.
And also, I don't think you guys have mentioned it yet, but the game actually does away with weight limits, which I hate in every single one.
Oh, those are the worst. Games. Yeah.
Yeah, so the fact that you can just pick up everything, let your loot goblin free into the world, and just pick up everything that might be useful in some off chance or whatever, just freed me to just have a good time.
That game was really great. Assassin's Creed Shadows is also on my honorable mentions. That's one of the ones nobody talked about until Ryan brought it up. I love that game. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I think it's so much better than Yote. I did not like Yote that much. I recognize that it's a great game. It's really well built. I just did not like the main character, and I did not like the I felt like Tsushima was just so much better. So I didn't really get into it. Sonic Crossworlds made my honorable mentions. That was hard to drop down. I really enjoyed that game, but like Anthony, I got really tired of the tracks not having enough of them. That became my biggest issue with that game. And then I'm going to talk about this game in a different light than everybody else did, because everybody's sick of hearing about it. Expedition 33 ended up on my honorable mentions because I agree. It's got a great story. It's a wonderful game. But revisiting it when I was making my list, I was like, you know what? Like, general enemy encounters require you to like relearn the parry timing, because that's what that game's all about. It's about the parry timing. And when you're just running around the world trying to move forward in the story, and you run into an enemy that you haven't fought before, and you kind of have to learn its parry mechanic, it's frustrating. It's like the Ninja Gaiden of RPGs, where fodder enemies can just wipe your entire team. And it's just not fun when you go from like that to that to that, and it's like you're just constant. I don't know. There were a lot of issues that I had revisiting that game. I also feel like the direction was poor. Like everybody's like, just follow the lanterns. In some areas, the lanterns are lit both ways. So like, which way do I go, kind of thing.
They're bisexual lanterns. I understand.
I don't know.
So to that point about fodder enemies completely wiping your team, if you've played the Dragon Quest VII demo, for the remake they introduce a mechanic where if an enemy is on the map and is a lower level than your character, you can hit all the enemies on the map with your sword and basically take damage away from them before you enter the turn-based battle. If they're a weak enemy, they just die, and you get the credit for the battle. And I just thought that was a pretty neat way to handle that.
Yeah. And there's a lot of times in Expedition 33 where you get into a battle and you're fighting an enemy that's weak to something that you didn't bring that character with you. And that also gets a little frustrating. I don't know. Like, I got frustrated revisiting it, and I was like, I just can't put this in my top 10. As good as that game is, I don't think it's in my top 10. So going into my top 10, there are a couple games in here nobody's mentioned yet. Although Terrence did briefly mention it, number 10 for me is Metal Gear Solid Delta. It is pretty much that game, but that game is really fucking good.
It is.
And being able to revisit it in that fidelity with like third-person controls, which by the way makes a lot of that game,
trivial.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's not hard now with the modernized controls. But I still loved going back through that and all the little nods, like going into first person to see the countdown timer, or just little things you can do in that game is so much. And I forgot how short it was. Like,
it was surprisingly short. I remember it being longer for some reason.
Yeah, when thinking back, I was like, that game's like
the original camera angle.
I remember that game being like 20 or 30 hours, and I beat it in like 12.
Yeah, same.
So, number 9 again didn't come up until Wombat's conversation, and I love this game. I recognize it had problems, but it was Avowed. I enjoyed from start to finish that game. I just thought it was just a fun RPG. Like, it didn't need to be anything more than it was, and it never was. And I really enjoyed that game. Number 8, we have not mentioned this game at all, and I'm not trying to trigger you, Anthony, but it was Metroid Prime 4.
That's fine. Listen, my thing. Okay, so I thought about this a little bit because it came up on the other podcast I listened to, Stone Age Gamer, and somebody was giving it its props. If this game was not called Metroid Prime 4 and was just called Metroid Beyond, I probably wouldn't have had the same expectations. So the expectations I had on it, fair enough. They're based off of what they had done previously, but obviously some of that was stuff that I expected that they didn't promise. Fine. The things they did promise on were story-based at this point. and they don't really fucking do anything with it. So
no, the
that's
story's not that great. I know that.
And that's my biggest, arguably my biggest complaint, because I can move past. Let's be honest, it's not bad gameplay. It's not great gameplay. It's fine.
It's
you know
dated
what I mean?
gameplay, but it's fine.
Yeah, so it's, the motorcycle works well. It's not like it's hard to control. It's not like the gunplay is terrible. It looks pretty. There's nothing to question about that. The music's okay. It's not super memorable. It's not getting stuck in my head, but it's whatever. The actual level designs when you're in it, even in the mines, which is very linear, make sense. They don't feel like just video game levels. They feel like places, and I'm not taking away from any of that. But when you tell me that this is going to be some sort of big story arc, when arguably the Metroid Prime story is done, right? Because spoilers for fucking decades old games now. But Metroid Prime is the main character of the Metroid Prime series. Hunters was a spin-off, whatever. But it takes place during that time period. This takes place after Metroid Prime 3. Prime is gone. Prime is no longer existing. Dark Samus doesn't exist. So the phase-on stuff is done. So we've moved on to something completely different. And you're going to tell me the story of Silex, a character that you've kept mysterious. And you start to peel back the layers, and it's uninteresting. And it's kind of stuff I could have probably just written in a minute anyways, as bad fan fiction. And so it's like, you didn't really put any effort into this. Like, you didn't even make the reason on why he's a dick worthwhile. And that's where I get a little frustrated, because you're telling me the gameplay, again, is satisfactory. It's not like I can really complain about that, other than what I've already said on the design level. The story sucks. And like, that's the part that you were really hyping up, and you do nothing with it. You kind of just ends with a wet fart.
It does end in a wet fart. I will agree with that.
And did you watch the
I haven't watched the 100% ending yet. No.
Holy shit. Okay, so not only does it end with a wet fart, but that fucking sequence was such a spit in my face. If I had done 100%, I would be pissed.
Yeah, I'll probably just watch it, because I think I finished it, so I'm good.
Take off her helmet in Metroid Prime felt more like a satisfaction to get the 100% than that fucking video. Oh.
Well, yeah, I still had a great time playing through it, so.
But no, I don't hate the game like on a level. It's just, it really is just what I went in expecting, and I shouldn't have really. But the story stuff, I feel like I have the right to be pissed about. So
I think you feel a lot like the people feel about Vampire the Masquerade 2, or Bloodline.
No, listen, I'll say this. I at least look at this and go, maybe Metroid's not for me. The Vampire the Masquerade people, man, like this, let's put it this way, this doesn't interfere with any of the story that has already been told. This Metroid game, it doesn't really affect anything. Maybe that's a complaint I could make, but it doesn't really affect anything negatively. Whatever's in the past is in the past. Doesn't make Silex not an interesting character when you fight him, when you didn't know his background. It's just his background adds nothing. The Vampire the Masquerade stuff, I've watched a couple of people talk about it. Wow, that stuff is like, that lore is terrible. It changes fundamentally parts of the story that doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I'm not. I feel bad for those people. I do not have the ire that those people rightfully have. I'm just an angry asshole. I understand that.
All right. Moving on to number 7 is another game that I don't think has even been mentioned, and that's Shinobi: Art of Vengeance.
It was on my list. I didn't say that.
Yeah, Did you say Shinobi? I thought you said Ninja Gaiden, but I didn't hear Shinobi.
Oh, it was on my honorable mentions. I never hit the last one. Yeah, it was the last one.
I only played the demo, so I never actually played the full version. I did really like the demo, so I intend to pick it up at some point this year. But yeah, I only ever played the demo.
I freaking loved this game. I liked it more than Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, obviously, because it's not even on my list anywhere. But I don't know. They just really kind of nailed that old school like Shinobi gameplay, and it just felt really good to play. Not to mention it's gorgeous. So number 6 was Death Stranding 2. We talked a lot about that. It really feels like just a bigger, better Death Stranding. Number 5 is South of Midnight. I was curious if that would show up anywhere. I'm glad it showed up on somebody else's list. If you have not played this, you should definitely play this game. It's really, really good. Number 4 also I don't think I've heard mentioned yet, period, which is crazy with Terrence on this show. Ryu Hayabusa gets no love?
So
I did not like that game.
I haven't finished it. And it's funny because I was looking at my Xbox. I haven't finished the 4th one. But I did, like, because Ragebound was my honorable mentions. But yeah, that's the only reason. So I haven't even got to play as him yet. Like, I'm playing as the other guy.
Ninja Gaiden 4
That game is good.
Ninja Gaiden 4 is the best action game I've played in a long time. I will agree that maybe it shouldn't be called Ninja Gaiden.
Why not, though?
It's more platinum than it is Itagaki.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah. But it's still really good. That was the thing that, like, I think people didn't understand when I was complaining about it. It's like, this isn't really a Ninja Gaiden game. This feels more like a Bayonetta game. Down to the, like, slow motion stuff that you can do when you parry correctly or dodge, you know. But you can't understate how good this game is. Like, the action is just superb. Like, it feels good to play.
The interesting thing about that game, I'm not sure if you felt the same way, Ken, as you made with your play. You play as Yakumo, the newcomer in the series, and the way that his weapons change with the whole Blood Raven form is so interesting, and has a lot of applications in how you can interact with different monsters. That when I got to the Ryu Hayabusa segment, where his moves were much more limited, I actually kind of wanted to go back to playing as Yakumo. So it speaks really well for the newcomer to have that kind of an impact, and kind of feel that good to play as. So
I think that has a lot to do with the fact that they built that game around Yakumo, and you can't change Hayabusa to match that and not upset people who are fans of the original games.
Yeah, but at the same time, I kind of wanted to unlock new weapons for Ryu as well. It's not like Ryu has had many weapons.
I was surprised that they didn't do more weapons, but again, his levels are very limited, let's say, in that game. So I get why they're just like, well, you fought, what was it, like chapter 10 or something, when you get to take Ryu Hayabusa in, and it's like you've leveled up all of this other stuff. Like, are we really going to make you do it again? No, we're just going to make him kind of a basic moveset kind of character.
Yeah.
So, but no, I absolutely love that game. I thought, damn, this takes me back. It's so good. Number 3, Split Fiction. We talked a lot about that game. I agree. If you've not played it, find somebody to play it with. It's absolutely a stellar game from start to finish. I still think about that last level and how fucking crazy it was. Like, it does some, like, Portal / Ratchet and Clank shit that just blows my mind. Like, obviously you can't do that outside of the PS5. Oh wait, Split Fiction's on the Switch. So, play Split Fiction.
Switch 2. It doesn't. It's not on Switch.
It doesn't matter. You telling me the Switch 2 is more powerful than the PS5?
Just saying. I'm just saying.
Still.
Actually, fuck yourself.
Number 2 is Donkey Kong Bonanza, because Banana. That game's fucking amazing.
Damn. This game is on, like, everyone's list. I really need to play
It's so good.
Okay, so
it's
so good.
So when I said this game should be called Red Faction Gorilla, not Gorilla, I didn't know how accurate I was, but goddamn the destruction in this game.
It's so good. Yeah. It's so fun.
Yeah. The 4th transformation changes this game.
100%. Yes, it does.
And I just went, yeah, okay, I could play a whole game where I was just this transformation, to be completely honest.
That's what I'm saying, is like they made everything in that game fun to do. Yep. Which is hard. That's a very hard thing to do, but they did it with this game. It's crazy. I mean, and then of course my number 1's also Call of Duty Black Ops 7.
Of course.
Can I guess?
Really? Do you really need to guess?
Is it? God damn it! I can't even pull one fast enough. Baby Steps.
Oh, I fucking hated that game.
By the way, that's Vulture.
I did play that game, and I hated
it. That's Vulture's Game of the Year.
Dude, that game sucks. I'm sorry, but like,
I know it's a
sucks.
wobbly game. All right, just say it already so I can mark it off.
It's a Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. Come on,
Collection.
like really?
Of course.
I mean, how long have I been waiting on that?
The only one that listed that, and remember, the Metacritic and OpenCritic are ranked by like the scores of all these sites. The only one that had that it was GameSpot.
Dude, it doesn't shock me. Like this
at a 9.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. This is a game that, like, you know, you'd say there's Anthony-ass games, there's Terrence-ass games. Dude, like,
this is a Ken-ass
game. This is my game. Like,
this is Ken-flavored autism.
This is actually very niche. Like, I have almost no interest in this.
A lot of people have no interest in this, but, you know, being my age and growing up in the arcades where these games came from, and really the only way to play those is to emulate, which has its own set of issues. Just being able to have these, you know, from the 32X version to the Super Nintendo versions, the Genesis, the straight arcade versions of these games, and truly the first time Mortal Kombat 4 has been brought home without issues, the arcade version. Like, this is a dream come true for me. So it was very obvious that this was going to be my game of the year. Because you can't count Overwatch 10 years in.
By the way,
nor would you at this point.
I still probably it's my most played game this year by like a country mile.
You this is an intervention. Welcome.
We don't want to talk about your issues here.
Listen, 400 hours in Monster Hunter and 200 hours in No Man's Sky. Leave me alone and let me have my problems.
The thing is, like,
you want to hear something funny?
I don't hate
that's
myself.
Rookie numbers. I have 38 days in Balatro.
Mr. Drew, who has 5 games on the Games of the Year list, has 38 days in Balatro.
Yes, and and that's just on the Xbox version. I can't tell you how many hours I put on my phone.
Oh, brother, you have nothing on my Overwatch time. I don't think anybody on the planet has anything on my Overwatch time.
Nor would we want to try.
Yeah. Nobody smoked more crack than me, guys. Yeah. Here's your
you can have that crown on your head.
228
your
days.
cowards don't even smoke crack.
228 days I've played that game.
Jesus Christ.
It's like
that
I think
both
honestly,
1 and 2.
Oh, it's all the same app.
Yeah, it's all
combined.
The same. Like if Ken wasn't complaining about how much he hates the game so much, I would not be, I would not say anything, because he's enjoying himself, he's having a good time, but he sounds like he's fucking miserable. Another 24 hours played of Overwatch 2 and my teammates are worthless. It's like, and I'm just looking at him, like, why are you hurting yourself? Do something else. Play something else that brings you joy. Like,
brother, I put 45 hours into season 20 so far.
I can easily tell you that I love everything there is to talk about Balatro. There is nothing bad about that game.
Mean. It makes sense that you would play it so much because you love the game. But if you don't love something and then you're still, that's some fucked up kind of relationship.
I need to explain to you about abusive relationships with video games because I'm in one currently.
I used to have one. I had one that was called Overwatch, and before that it was Destiny.
You guys hated Destiny for so long, and you just kept playing it. It was always funny to me, and now I'm like, you know what? I get it.
Yeah. No, Destiny was my first, I'm addicted to this game, but I hate it at this point.
Yeah.
Then Overwatch became that. Overwatch became that very. I didn't hate it for very long because once I got to the point where I hated it, I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. We're celebrating 10 years this year, if you can believe that.
No, I can believe it. I put a lot of that. Overwatch is my most played game of all time.
Yeah, same with me. It finally surpassed StarCraft, I think. My most played game of all time.
I think mine is now. Mine is still Final Fantasy 15, but not for much longer.
A really good question. I have no idea what
No
mine
Man's
would be.
Sky is going to eclipse it.
If I had to take a guess with you, Ryan, I don't know that I could, because like you finish a game and you're done. You don't play like ongoing games very much.
Yeah, probably the closest for me is like all the times combined I've played Skyrim.
You know what I bet it is? It might be World of Warcraft, because you were pretty hard into that, weren't you?
I was pretty hard into that, but I think my playtime on that ended up being like, I don't know, 600 hours or something like that.
That's definitely kind of low for that game.
It's probably close to the top. City of Heroes is probably close to the top too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough question. I have to dig back through my archives and see if I can figure it out.
I don't think anything will ever come close to Overwatch. I mean, I've been playing it for 10 years, which is just insane to me at this point.
What's crazy is I know a guy who still plays World of Warcraft, and he played it during the beta.
Oh yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
There's a lot of people like that.
Yeah. You want to talk about a game that people play all the time and hate? World of Warcraft's like that.
Yeah.
So, I have the list, and I'm just kind of wanting to talk about some of the stuff that I was surprised showed up as much as it did, or stuff that I'm surprised nobody mentioned. A big game was Despelot.
I've never even heard of that game.
Yeah,
no idea what that is.
It's a game that's is a soccer game about people. It's like a first-person game, and that made a ton of lists. Obviously, none of us played it, I guess. It sounds like it's a little bit more of a experience rather than a game. But that one came up. One that came up in terms of the Metacritic and OpenCritic was Simogo Legacy Collection.
Again,
no idea what that is.
No clue what that
is. 7 classic Simogo games: Cosmo Spin, Bumpy Road, Beat Sneak Bandit, Year Walk, Device 6, The Sailor's Dream, and I guess it's pronounced Split, SPL-T. And then there's some other stuff in there. But yeah, I guess they're mobile games or something like that. Yeah, mobile platforms between 2010 and 2015. High up in the... So 15 on Metacritic. It was the 15th best game as long as we don't include Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, and Breath of the Wild. Final Fantasy Tactics, Ivalice Chronicles was quite. I
think most people didn't play that though.
Yeah, I'm just saying these are games that came. Luminous Arise.
That came out way late. Game. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of good things about that game, though.
One I'm surprised didn't, and I kept these because they were distinct releases, not like just an upgrade pack. Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition was on Metacritic at 27. Mm-hmm. Absalom made a couple lists as well.
People really liked Absalom. It's obviously not for me because it's a roguelike.
Okay.
So.
Roguelike beat 'em up though.
It is a roguelike beat 'em up, but I still don't. If I want to play, I just want to play through. That's just me.
The Root Trees Are Dead made a couple of appearances. That's a investigative game. I'm surprised you didn't have this one on honorable mentions, Ken. Heretic plus Hexen.
That was more in my collections shout out.
Okay, all right. I will mark.
I just didn't name it because there were so many of them this year.
Hexen Heretic was like a booted up for about 50 minutes, and I will never play that again.
Oh, I think I played through the entirety of Heretic, but I haven't finished Hexen yet.
Nah, it was fun to say, oh yeah, I remember this, and then I just turned it off.
I fucking live for these games. I still play Doom 1 and 2 on a regular basis. Shit.
Surprised no one said Silent Hill F.
I didn't care for that game.
That was disappointing to me.
Yeah, I didn't care much for that game.
One I'm surprised you didn't say Eartheon.
Eartheon's great, but I'm be honest with you, I didn't feel like it fit anywhere for me.
Okay. One that we didn't mention because I don't think anyone played it was Citizen Sleeper 2. 2 Point Museum showed up quite a bit. Let me see here.
I think Terrence's the only
person
that played 2 Point Museum, I think.
I did, and it was good, but it wasn't. Yeah,
like it don't stand out. Yeah, it's just one of those games like you played it, it was good, but you didn't. Yeah.
You know what's bad, and I was going to bring this up. I don't think it was on anybody's list. There was a new Civilization game that came out last year.
I don't play those.
Guy.
So.
I am a huge Civilization guy, but I have no time to play that, and everybody seems to hate this new one.
It's because Civ 5 was around for so long, right? Or was it 6 that's been around for so long?
Civ 6, I mean, they're all around for a long time, but I mean, I don't know, like Civ 5, like Civ 4 was like the first one I played, and then Civ 5 I thought was absolutely excellent. 6 was okay, and apparently 7 is just like bad.
Yeah, I don't play those games, so.
Let's see here. A game called Ooh. That's an O with an umlaut with 2 O's after it. Got a couple mentions. It's a puzzle game. Shinobi, of course, was an honorable mention. I have to mark that off.
Shinobi was on my list. Thank you very much.
Was it on your list?
It was number 7.
I must have not marked it off on that one.
Yep.
Yeah, I see it is marked off another. Okay, weird. I did a Control F, and I don't know how I missed that. Like I said, The Sands of Blake Manor was a game I wish I had gotten to. Lost Records, which is one of Life is Strange people. What's that developer's name?
Fuck, I'm drawing a blank.
Don't Nod.
I know who you... Don't Nod. Yeah.
Don't Nod's. That was a Don't Nod game that got a couple mentions. I only included it because technically it was the release on PS5, and I felt that was important. Games Radar, I think, is the only one that mentioned Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones got screwed because it came out in December last year, and nobody talked about it, and then this year everybody just forgot about it.
Geek got a couple mentions. Dying Light the Beast got a couple mentions.
That game is great. If you like the original Dying Light, you'll like that game.
Give me a second here. I'm obviously.
I almost put Dying Light the Beast on my list as an honorable mention. I almost did.
Did Pacific Drive come out this year, or was that just came out on Game Pass?
Is that the Cthulhu Grand Theft Auto game?
No, it's not a Grand Theft Auto game. It's like a survival game.
Oh, you're
constantly
no, that was 2024.
2024
came out last year. Yeah,
I played.
2024. Yeah,
I played it on Game Pass. I thought that was a very neat game.
There was obviously I'm not even including the ones that we mentioned as ones that we wanted to get to as much. Fantasy Life I shows up like twice. Digimon Story Time Stranger shows up twice. See, I missed Ghost of Yoga.
I think Terrence, you played both of those, didn't you?
Yes, Digimon is really good. Just what didn't stand out. Actually, both were good. They just didn't.
Digimon have like some severe performance issues and look like shit or something, but it was still good? Am I remembering this? Is that the right one?
It might be PC because I didn't have any issues on console.
Okay,
but it happens.
I know it didn't get mentioned because Ken didn't like it, and I haven't played it yet. Kirby Air Riders got a couple mentions.
I was thinking about that game the other day, and it was so funny to me to think like they did like 3 hours worth of directs, and that game came out, and it was a wet fart. Like nobody fucking talked about that game.
See, I feel like maybe it's just the way it's my Blue Sky is set up, but I feel like I see people on Blue Sky talking about Kirby Air Riders all the time.
Yeah, I just feel like it's such a like twitchy ass game that's not fun to play. I didn't like it like at all.
Here's one that I'm surprised wasn't mentioned. Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered.
I played it.
A lot of people just was kind of like,
it's good.
It's fine.
But it's just a remake.
Yeah.
I mean,
I played it enough to get out of the tunnel, and that was it.
God, I'm so tired of the crashing of these fucking Bethesda games. They think it's charming and funny, but when you're crashing systematically at every 30 minutes of gameplay, there's a problem you need to solve.
Guys, it's a brand new engine. Don't look behind the curtain. Don't look behind the curtain. You don't need to see it. We just brushed all that stuff right behind there. Octopath Traveler 0. That was a late one, so I don't blame anyone for not having it on the list.
I like it. Not as good as other ones.
I need to play the other ones before I play that
weird one that showed up, and I don't remember anyone talking about it positively, was Revenge of the Savage Planet. Showed up a couple times.
That game sucked when it
didn't even play
launched.
it.
All right, yeah, that's what I thought
Damn.
you said. So I was like, okay. There's Civilization 7. Ken, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4.
It's fine.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's fine.
It's fine.
Okay.
I also played that. I didn't. It was fine.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm almost done.
One thing I'll say about Tony Hawk 3 and 4 while we're here. One of the few Game Pass games that you can play via Game Pass on Steam Deck.
Right then.
Wait, straight through Game Pass?
Yes, but there's a trick to it. So you have to set it up so you can get to BattleNet from your Steam Deck.
Yeah.
And then Tony Hawk 3 and 4 is one of the Game Pass games that's on BattleNet. Avowed also the same way.
Yeah. I think I heard about that with the Blizzard and Activision games that have that interactivity.
Yep.
It's kind of nice.
Yep.
And then there's for some reason the Control F. I think it's just because the chart is quite large. That I missed it. Borderlands 4 was on nobody's list.
Dude, do you not remember my
it.
comment like a couple weeks ago where I was like, I'm trying to like this game.
Well,
And I just
but I
don't.
know. I think you're the only person that played it.
No,
too.
Terrence played it too.
I played it too, and it's
Didn't make his list either, so I guess it.
No, yeah, it's fine. I wouldn't have put it on the list.
Yeah.
Here's one that no one remembers. It came out this year because it got eclipsed by the better release in the same franchise. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD came out last year.
It's fine.
It's fine, but it's just funny because it's just like, who gives a shit? New Donkey Kong.
We've seen Donkey Kong
old
Country
one.
Returns 6,000 times. Let's move on.
Ninja Gaiden 2 Black.
It's Sigma.
That version of the game is not as definitive as they claim to be.
It's the Sigma version, which upsets me deeply.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean, Kat. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing.
Terminator 2D.
That game is great, but like I told you on the podcast a couple weeks ago, you have to love Genesis games, and you have to love Terminator, and you have to be okay with a 45-minute game.
And the other one that I don't think any of us were going to play it, but Tokyo Extreme Racer got quite a bit of mention.
I wanted to play that, I'm going to be honest with you, but it's only on PC. I was waiting on a console. I think it hits PlayStation in February.
But yeah, like the fact that we... Now I'm not doing the math because I'd have to count all the spaces, and that's not interesting. But the fact is that there's a lot of spots, obviously some of them are doubled up, that stuff we just didn't touch upon, either because we didn't talk about it in this list, because I only included stuff that was honorable mentions and actually on the list as stuff I marked off. So I'll send that to the chat. But yeah, I what a range of games.
Mm-hmm. It was a good year. And hopefully 2026 is even better.
I'm curious. I'm curious, Anthony. Was Kingdoms of the Dump on any of those lists?
Kingdoms of the Dump was not. That is one of that. I think that was the first game I noticed where I wasn't marking anything off, like other than my own routine. So,
what's the next big banger that's coming out?
Hold on, games.
There's a couple things. I know Wombat's gonna roll his eyes, but High on Life 2 comes out next month.
Guys, we got High Guard coming out. Remember?
Fuck off.
Dragon Quest VII Remake comes out next month.
February. February's got a few bangers.
I'm gonna say something, even though I wouldn't. Again, this also wouldn't make the list for next year if I do the same thing. But the Animal Crossing New Horizons has that big update that I'm sure will bring people back. Yeah. A bunch of ports to other consoles. I think the next big release is honestly Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade for Switch
and Xbox. Yeah, that's a pretty big one.
Is that coming?
It's in January.
Yeah, that's on the 22nd.
Yeah,
that's the first game, right?
Yeah. I can't. Shh. Wait till we stop recording.
And then I'm looking.
Resident Evil Requiem's next month, right?
Yeah, that's the other. That's the big one.
That's my big game.
Yeah.
Dragon Quest VII Reimagined is on the 5th.
Yeah,
that'll be my birthday
February.
gift to myself.
Mario Tennis Fever next month.
Neo 3 on the 6th.
Isn't Code Vein 2 coming out as well?
End of January, I believe.
Yeah, no, that's on the 30th. No one cares.
I
was going to say, Jay requested it. He cares.
Yeah.
What game am I thinking of that didn't make a
It's Code Vein.
That was...
It's the one you're thinking of.
All right. Okay. All right. I thought it was. I was just like, are you sure? Mario Tennis Fever and Yakuza Kiwami 3 on the 12th of February. High on Life 2 on the 13th. Reanimal on the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Demon Tides, which I'm excited for, is on the 19th. The next Styx game, everybody, is out on the 19th.
Oh, good. Yeah, we needed a third one.
Nordics, Proud Nordics is coming out on the PS5 and stuff on the 19th.
I really like that game, but I don't like the fact that they're borrowing Atlas playbook of releasing a better version of the same game that they've released like a year ago. That shit, I don't like that at all, man.
No Sleep for Konami Date is coming to the consoles that aren't Switch on the 26th. Let's see here.
I think Resident Evil is the one. That's the one.
Yeah, Resident Evil is the biggest one that I think everyone's looking forward to.
Well, when does that come out again?
February.
February, yeah.
Oh yeah, Requiem. Sorry, you know why? Because it's buried in between 7 and Village as the for Nintendo Switch 2. Yeah, Requiem's on the 27th. After that is Pokemon Pocopia.
What is that?
The Toxic Commando game on the 12th of March.
Pocopia's like that. Which one? That's the one where you're the Ditto, right? Yeah, it's like it's almost like a cozy game, but in Pokemon. So you craft and build and.
Anthony, what happened to that Lighthouse game you liked? Didn't that come out last year?
Keeper?
No, he's talking about
the horror one.
Well, so it's funny you mentioned that. I can never remember the name of this game. I apologize. Static Dread, the Lighthouse. So,
yes.
It's funny you mentioned that, Drew, because Static Dread, the Lighthouse, and No, I'm Not a Human are very similar games, except No, I'm Not a Human has you testing people in the house, and Static Dread has you doing stuff in between people visiting the house, or the lighthouse, I should say. There's actually a crossover between the two.
I just realized nobody's going to listen
more
to
of
this
No,
show.
I'm Not a Human.
It's 3 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's a lot of shit. That's a lot of mediocrity. That's 20 years of mediocrity right there.
Oh, shit. Anyway, I should probably wrap this up. I gotta go. So yeah, 2025, good year. 2026, hopefully even better. And hopefully we see more of Jay and Drew on the show.
I'm about to have a child.
Yeah? And?
Yeah.
What's your excuse?
Yeah.
I'm hitting the reset button. I'll see you in 5 years, man.
We'll still be here, Drew. We'll still be here.
Yeah, I know. 25 years of mediocrity.
Yeah, exactly. Just wait till we hit 30.
So this is by the way, as of right now, I know things can change. This is a GTA year.
It is a GTA year currently.
Supposedly.
No. It's a GTA year so far.
You know what else is this year?
So far.
Halo Gears Forza, which is crazy.
You want to hear something even crazier? I'm not buying GTA.
That's not crazy.
I don't care about those games.
I'm at GTA day one.
Yeah.
Go for it, man.
Enjoy that $99.99 base version.
I don't care. Man, I have loved GTA from the very first one. So I'm all in.
All right, y'all. That's 2025. We'll be back next week with a regular show that won't be 3.5 hours of mediocrity. Mostly just around 2 hours.
You don't know.
Nah. Anyway, that's it from us. Peace out, bitches.
Alrighty. And it goes something like this.